Hey, Justin. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you, Justin, for getting it out there, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I come by the house quick to kill some time. I'm actually got to deliver at 9:30 down there in Fort Lauderdale. Or not Fort Lauderdale, duh. Fort Worth. Two very different places. Oh, you're saying you're waiting on a shower? Oh, that could be all night. Thank you, history. I appreciate you. Oh, I know that pilot really well. See if we can get a crowd in here tonight like we had the other day. Sorry I missed you all yesterday. It was a heck of seriously? Dadgum. This this freaking thing, I'm telling you. Dude, I get Starlink. I'm going to worry about the Terminator showing up and taking my poor Ruby out. No, I ain't doing Starlink, man. Schwarzenegger's old, but he can still probably whoop me every once in a while. I'm good. That's right. You're right. Okay, that was Skynet, not Starlink. Wasn't there a movie with Starlink in it though? I'm almost positive there was a Starlink too. That might have been a different one. Yeah, I know. I apologize to everybody. It's probably a little boring in here right now. I'm kind of hoping it'll pick up. See what happens. Thought we were going to get a different screen than what's up here. I tried to put the different background on, but for whatever reason, it's not wanting to pull up. I have to try this on the laptop tomorrow night. Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks, Justin. We're trying to get it really out there right now. I think that's where we're going to spend a good portion of time. We're actually going to be doing some adaptations to the website. We have something in there right now that a new page that we're looking at putting up called Trucker Tools. That's going to help with, we're going to add things to that. That'll be strictly for just the truck drivers out here, whether it be an app that you can use. We have one in mind, and we think a lot of truck drivers will be able to use spreadsheets, things of all that sort, where you guys can go in and actually utilize it. So we're looking at expanding the web page a little bit here shortly. We also have right now, I believe there's 4 pages of articles and a lot more to come. So there's a lot of education, a lot of knowledge in there. But I appreciate you getting it out there, man. The more we get it out there, more people read some of the articles that are in there, especially the one on finance. If you can get if we can get people that are in these seats to actually look at that financial one and start talking to advisors and their banks and whatnot, I think truck drivers are going to be a lot better off. What's going on? That one guy's here. Now it's going to get interesting. It always gets interesting when that one particular guy shows up. There he is.
Yeah, that one guy.
That one guy. What's going on, brother?
Oh, not a
Sounds
whole
like you're
lot.
about half asleep.
Nah, just sitting here.
You still on the road? You make it home?
Nah, I'm home.
Gotcha. Well, it's been shared out. I don't know how well we're going to get the thing ball rolling, but hopefully it'll get rolling here soon. Love to see
Yeah,
what we had. Love
now
to
I
see
gotta
what
go
we had on Monday.
now I gotta go through here and keep an idea or keep yeah pay attention to who I share it to.
Well, from what if I read that right, we gotta, as long as we toe the line that we created, we're fine.
Um,
I literally called them just before I started the live and tried to figure out what it was all about. But now I'm understanding. It's everything we warned everybody about. It's what it is. You know, stop talking like this. Talk like this. Don't say this. Don't do that. The things we've been warning. We've literally put warning labels on for 8 months now, and certain individuals just aren't listening.
well, apparently you can only share it out to 15 people at a time, huh? Guess I need to let the dog out and feed the squirrels.
I know. I tried to I tried focusing on my friend Bill, but it didn't work.
You got distant there, bud.
I said I tried to put a background up, but it didn't work.
Uh, that's all right.
Tried to put a background up, but it didn't.
Yeah, I heard you the last one.
Hey, it's that one guy again.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Big Bird. Big Bird and the one guy. Big Bird and the one guy. Now it's a party.
Now it's all gone. Yep, it's a party and it's all gone to hell. Come on.
Justin, did you see the message from Justin there, Sam?
No, I'm out feeding the squirrels.
Justin's literally out there. He's probably got at least 6 people headed over to sign up on the website.
All right.
I think Justin's turning into our favorite fan.
Is that Mr. Thomas?
We might have to get him. Yeah, we might have to get him and Big Bird. Special T-shirts, number 1 and number 2 fans.
I'll get Big Bird a T-shirt. It says I'm the biggest fan of the one guy.
That's right. Oh man!
You do that, we're going to have to take and get you with a picture next to him and just blot your face out so nobody can figure out who the one guy is.
That's right.
Oh, but so many people know. Oh.
I guess I can't show my face on here, huh?
You should be able to, is it not?
No, it's the setup you got.
Oh,
Yep.
well, dadgummit.
Hey, it's all right. They probably didn't want to see my ugly mug anyway.
They probably don't want to see mine.
Well, if they still got that handlebar mustache, we might enjoy your face.
Right?
Oh, come on. Who doesn't want a little 1960s, 70s in a room? I mean, that just livens the place up.
Good old porn stash.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go spend some money tomorrow. Oh,
There's a statement from a truck driver every day.
right. Well, that hawk, I thought it was either a dog or a coyote, and I went back through my dash cam and all that, and it more likely was a big hog that van hit that spun out in front of me, and it took out my T-bar on my truck. It cracked the metal bracket on my truck, and I've picked up a shimmy in my tire. Well, I got a bad tire now, so I gotta go get tires. And so yeah. So I took the cracked T-bar off and cut it all up. I'm gonna have to take and order another one, but for right now I got a.
Calm down.
I'm white trashing it with the deal on the back.
Oh, gotcha. Hey,
Why's it gotta be white trash?
Well, I mean, I could be ghetto either way. I mean, I was ghetto coming home with it because I had the straps and everything hold the T-bar on because I didn't have no or didn't have taillights and all that.
What'd you end up doing? Did you end up ordering your new one?
I'm gonna order it. I was gonna do it today, and then I had to go get my grandson, and we went and got haircuts, and then he wanted to go up to the ball field and work on his pitch, and then he wanted to take and hit some balls, and then he wanted to go back to pitching and hit some more balls. I threw the ball, hit some more balls. We've been up there 4 hours. I said, okay, I want to go get something to eat. I'm getting hungry. So, all right, Papa. I figured he'd start getting wore out. My gosh.
No, he's attempting to get you wore out.
Yeah.
Now, you said you went and got a
I'm
haircut. You didn't shave off the handlebars, did you?
No. Heck
Oh,
no.
damn.
I done that a while back, and I don't know. I had to go back to the old Big Bird.
Come on now. The unique mustache can make you millions. I mean, look at Burt Reynolds. I mean, look, there's so many of them.
I know. What was his name there? That porn star there, Jeremy.
Oh yeah. Dude, that's even more money.
Right? Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, Hogan. Come on, Hogan wouldn't have been Hogan without those handlebars.
I ran across the guy out there in Iowa. There at the Sapp Brothers there, off of 35 there. He came in and sat down at the counter. I turned around and looked. I had to take another glimpse, and it was just after Terry passed away. I had to take two looks, and I like, no way. The guy bust out laughing, and it almost sounded like him too. And yeah, he looked just like him. Had the headband on, the shirt, cut off sleeves, the whole works.
Right.
Y'all want to know another fun fact about this island that I'm at? The water pressure sucks.
Does it really suck that bad?
Yeah.
That's because they're running out of water.
It's something, man. It was horrible. Hot water was barely there. Oh my God.
Well, look at
jailhouse shower.
Pilot and Flying J are now instituting this whole program where you only get 30 minutes of water now.
Yeah, you get 10 minutes for your door and then 30 minutes for the water. That's what the one guy was saying too.
Hey, that's all right. The other day, I've had it happen twice. Once in Jackson, Mississippi, went in to take a shower at the Petro, got in there and a thunderstorm come in and knocked out all the power out. At least the water was still going, but the emergency lights come on inside the shower.
Oh wow!
Yeah, just the other day when we came to Clovis, New Mexico, they got a new pilot there, and they got a Love's there, and I asked the wife. I said, "Well, which one do you want to go to?" She says, "Love's. They got a bigger shower." I said, "Yeah, okay." I says, "All right." So we got there. It was an older Love's, which it was a little bit bigger, but not very big. The shower was a closet-sized shower, as she calls them. And we got in there, and there was no hot water. And then
I still swear by Sat Brothers, man. Sat Brothers has still got the best showers, down across the board.
Oh yeah. Well, that one out there at Johnson's Corner out there in Colorado had nice showers too, and that was a Petro now, and they destroyed it.
Of course they did.
That's one thing. These big corporates come in and they just destroyed all these what used to be great truck stops.
Hey, Justin. You're not allowed back up here.
Why? What'd I do this time?
You come up here, and all of a sudden, Nussbaum turns around and decides to drop a trailer in the middle of the interstate.
Oh, God.
Who did that?
Nussbaum.
I don't know.
Right in the middle of 55.
No way.
Yep.
I didn't even go on 55.
I centered it, didn't he?
I don't know what he did, but it was right in the center of 55.
That's crazy.
And more likely that's what he done.
I'm thinking what he did was he reached over for the volume or something in his truck and hit that damn button that releases the fifth wheel.
Oh,
I don't think you could. I don't think you could release them while they're moving.
Yes, I can. Yes, you can.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really?
If you hit that fifth wheel, that unlock button, it pulls it. If there's no pressure on that trailer, it will unlock the fifth wheel.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know, so this Peterbilt that I'm driving with my trainer, you got to hold that button for 3 seconds before it'll actually release. So you can't just hit his and it release.
That's what I thought. They had a safety deal on that, so it can't do that. But majority of
not all of them. I was driving Wrecker. I had to go help recover a trailer out of the road once because of that.
Well, majority of the time, too, them guys they high center that on the jaws.
I think it was North Bend. Was it yesterday that I was going through Pennsylvania? I was in one of y'all. I think it was North Band's live, and there was a flatbed just up in flames as we were coming down the mountain.
Oh wow! Yeah, that was actually on live. That was who was recording that? I can't remember who was recording that when we were going through, or had mentioned it.
Yeah, I come through there and I seen it, and I tried to cut everybody off so I could tell them, because
that's
what driver's heading. I didn't know what driver was heading which direction. If you're going that way, hey, they're fixing to shut that side of the road down.
Did you ever
find
out if the driver made it?
No. I called a buddy of mine at the trooper office there in PA, and he hasn't gotten back with me yet. I do have a couple buddies up in that state still.
Let's hope that they actually got out of there.
When I went by there, I didn't see any driver anywhere near the truck.
Oh, that ain't good.
But it looked like it's because we were going downgrade. He was coming upgrade. So I'm assuming either he had a fuel leak or he had a wheel seal or something. Something caught fire.
Yeah, hopefully he's still with us. Got back, or him or her got back to their families.
Damn, my crate
Volvos.
Merlins.
These new Volvos are ugly. Ugly. I can't stand them.
Oh, you know you want to buy one.
That one guy, he's watching now. That one guy, he likes them Volvos.
These new Volvos are ugly.
Hey, Dexy, did you change your screen name there?
I didn't even know he was in here.
No, Big Bird's over there making stories up. So,
gotcha.
Oh, you were in there earlier, huh?
no, I got in there just after Rocky hit the nuke button. But I've heard enough of his stories.
Yeah, same.
Why?
And it ain't me. It ain't mine. So,
Hey,
just like
when we that one guy in FOPT, if we ever do get the chance to cross paths and sit down and eat, there's some things I'd like to run by y'all, and then y'all can kind of. I have a really good idea. I think it's a good idea, but I want some old head wisdom on that before I try to run with it. It's a business team.
Well, you know what the great thing about this platform is? You can run it by, and if it's a good thing, people in the background that aren't in the room can actually listen and possibly learn from it too.
Yeah, so Justin, don't be afraid to kick that stuff out. I mean,
yeah, man.
So with and I've watched over the years how people invest into trucking companies. Some get screwed, some don't, right?
Yeah.
And you hear all these big companies talking about how they're a driver company, but they're really, in my opinion, they're really not a driver company.
Hey, wait a second now.
What? I'm just saying my opinion. God.
Go ahead. We're listening.
But I want to take my company and have owner-ops as members of the corporation and drivers as, I don't know how you would say it, but drivers would vote on stuff, not just the members voting on it. You would go to the driver and get a survey.
What you want is an employee-owned company.
Pretty much, but everybody gets a say. Like if me and the members, we go after a FedEx contract and, the drivers are all like, hey, yeah, that's a 3-hour, detainee all the time at that place. Well, we're going to go back to the contract, renegotiate it, because we're listening to what our actual drivers are actually saying. Now, I don't know if all that would actually work, but I know negotiations are, it's about negotiating. But then everybody gets a piece of the pie, you know what I mean? Not to say you get rich off of it, but everybody gets a piece of the pie.
The only problem you're going to have there, this is my opinion, the only problem you're going to have there is, I would say, 1990, 2000, even 2010, I would say, that's not a bad idea and run that way. But the problem today in 2026 is laziness is really at an all-time high. Oh, if you give them that option, they're going to find the less possible work for a high amount of money, which is a rarity to find. And you're going to go out of business faster than tomorrow, because you're not going to be able to maintain what needs to be maintained as far as keeping contracts.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to sit down with a bunch of people and try to figure that out. Because if for God's sakes, if Candace Trucking or Cadis Trucking and all of them can figure something out like that, I don't understand why the little guy can't.
And that's the thing. All you need to do is have your owner ops. If you're going to do owner ops and company, your owner ops are going to have a business mind. Most, not all, most. They're going to have a business mind. So if you type up a proposal for, let's say, FedEx, and you list the wait time, what the contract is saying, stating, and they're giving you 72 hours, you kind of do what, we do at the Federation, and you send it out to them. Hey, listen, we're going to make a decision on this in 72 hours. We would like your feedback to help with that decision. And they're going to look at it and go, okay, is it profitable? If it's profitable and you see it as profitable and you all agree, then you move forward with it. And whatever your company drivers have to be happy,
Right,
but you're already paying them. If you're paying them a good salary, the 401, the health, all that junk, then they don't need to know profit and loss. Those are, company, the business minded needs to know profit and loss.
Yeah, the profit and loss. Yeah. And I mean,
So
I guess it would be steered more towards an owner op thing than more of a company thing. But my idea of it is to build something that nobody else has got. That's the idea of it. But I'm still bouncing around in my head.
I'll tell you, the way we built the Federation, you got it, and you can do this with trucking companies. You want to be the best in the business. What you do is talk to the people that are in the business, in those larger fleets. Talk to the drivers, talk to the owner ops, talk to the lease ops. What are they happy about? What aren't they happy about? Most of the time, you don't even have to ask them. Just give them 5 minutes to talk. They'll tell you anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
And
I had one talk my ear off.
Make note of it. Look at, go look at them on the social media sites. Go look at them on their FMCSA ratings. Just take a buttload of notes and go, okay, this is how they're operating. How do I flip this on its head and make it better? And before you know it, you'll have a company that's just phenomenal.
Where driver come first.
Just remember, though, that when you get a lot of people with their hand in the cookie jar, everybody's got an opinion, and yours is always wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a business years ago with a partner, and it didn't work out. But then I've got a buddy of mine that he's got multi-members and boards, and I mean, he's making multi-million dollars fist over hand. But he's in a whole different industry than what I'm in. So,
what's going on, Lord Shark? Good to see you here again, buddy. Thank you for stopping in. What's going on, Miss Bobby? It's the way, and here's the thing. The one thing that we decided as a group in the very beginning is keep it small. Now, the Federation will grow, but there'll be subcommittees with that aid in getting things done. But the table that we all sit at will remain small. That's the controlling interest and making sure that we walk the line that we say that we're going to walk. And that's how you've got to build your company. It's good that you want to make sure that they're all have a vote. Just don't give them power to make the decisions over top of the business owner.
The members would have the decision. The drivers would just vote on it. So
keep it small.
That's the idea, but
keep it small. Take the typical trucking company, turn it on its head, and shake the hell out of it and see what comes out of its pockets. You'll start recognizing where they made their mistakes. It's not hard.
No, yeah. Like I've noticed a couple things with Mike, just being with Mike for the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks. One of them, they got me really pissed off because they lied to me off the rip.
Right.
It upsets me. I don't like being lied to. I don't lie to nobody. I don't expect anybody to lie to me. And that's the reason I don't try to talk to certain people a certain way, because I'm educated in certain things, but there's some things I'm not, and I don't know how to word it. So when I word it, it may come off wrong.
You'll get this. Just take your time. Just take your time. You know, I hate the phrase Rome. You know, Rome wasn't built overnight, because Rome was just as corrupt as some other places. But nothing great is built overnight.
No.
The greatest things that come of anything take time to do.
Hey, Big Bird, is your thumbs not working tonight?
I'm tapping.
Like you say my name, but then you don't say anything afterwards. You try to say hi to Bobby, and it comes out M.I.
I was sitting here tapping on the screen, and as that thing was going through, it tapped my
Big Bird doesn't have his glasses on.
I just looked down, I see big nuts, and then I just see
Just how big are your thumbs, Big Bird?
I think we need to switch the backgrounds.
Dude, I'm trying. I don't know. The only way I can do it is to go out and come back in and just go live. I have looked at everything in here to fix it. It's just not. Told you, man, I'm not technologically inclined.
Hey, it took me a little bit to learn how to do all that.
I've got 1,000 different options, but none of them are allowing me to do anything.
Let me see if I can do something here.
Man, why? Since that one guy is from Chicago and all, you know, why is it everywhere else I go in the country so far, it's all pretty green and nice growth? But when I go to Illinois, it's dead. Everything's dead. Ground's dead. Trees are dead.
Because you're colorblind.
You know, I got an uncle that's colorblind. Pretty sure that cat sign's yellow.
Bless it.
Yeah, I've been through it all, man. I can't. It's just not.
Nah, you're all right.
I guess we're going to go live the other way.
That's what it is. I'm trying to get my computer up and running.
That's something I still ain't even never done. I've never logged into my computer offline. That took so.
Dad, it's dead.
Oh, it's gonna be dead here in about 5 seconds. It's gonna take a flight out the window.
Yeah, what's glitching, Dad? So you have to watch out for it.
Yes, mother hen.
But I mean, so far, night's been pretty decent to me, though. I give it that.
Maybe it's
I
a
give
month.
I just wish they'd cut.
Up.
I wish they'd cut my training a little bit shorter. I don't like their policy where I did their Top Gun and then stuck doing their 14 days with a trainer, you know, which my trainer I think is in here watching. He understands it too. He's like I'm just a.
The one thing I liked about night was they'll pay you after the completion of your load. You don't have to wait a week or a day or a week, 2 weeks for a paycheck. You can actually get paid. It'll be in your account the day after your load as long as you get it in there on time. Unless they changed that policy in the last 8 years, 9 years.
I'm not sure. I don't know about how their company driver policy works. I know everything has to be submitted by Tuesday, so you'll get paid by Thursday. But I don't know. I mean, I've been looking into their owner-op program too. So.
Lease guy with the night.
I ain't talked to too many people that have leased on at night. I'll be honest with you. I think it's one that's ever talked about it. With night, anyway.
Yeah. They have the option. They have a couple different options. You can bring your own truck, or you can lease purchase a truck, or.
Just don't sign anything without actually reviewing the contract in full detail.
Oh yeah. I'm not getting burned again. I got burned in February. I ain't trying to do that again.
Make sure that it doesn't have like a 3-year, $50,000 what do they call balloon payment at the end of 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I was going to be watching for, is that balloon payment.
And there's which terminal are you looking at? The Florida terminal?
Yeah, I'm based out of their Lakeland terminal.
Might want to take the contract. If you get, when they hand it to you, look right at it and say, I need 24 hours, and run to a freaking attorney, hand the attorney $100 and say, listen, can you review this and make sure I'm safe?
Oh yeah, I planned on that. I got a Jewish attorney.
Oh, he'll definitely nickel and dime.
Oh yeah. Because he asked me, he's like, Justin, why didn't you come to me in February? I said, you were out of country. How am I supposed to come to you if you're not in the country?
Express mail.
But yeah, I've had him as a business attorney for the last 4 years. I keep him on a retainer.
That's smart. You're already ready then.
I've gotten burned a bunch of times, man, and I learn from the one burn and I get burned by something different, So I got a big heart. I try to help people when I can, and it ends up, sometimes it's good and it's beneficial or profitable, but then there's times that it puts me farther in the hole, or it just completely burns everything to the ground. One of the two. That's one thing my accountant kept saying that, with our shop was, we're too nice. We give away too much stuff. I'm like, I don't need it. As long as I'm making enough money to pay my bills and live and survive.
Well, you're in a room full of people that think and do the exact same way.
I mean, I understand you got to make a profit, but at the same time, when you die, where does that money go?
That money's going to go into an account in front of a judge while your entire family fights over every nickel, dime, and penny of it.
Exactly. It's just easier not to have it.
They're all going to be standing at our gravesides itching. Hurry up, put them in the ground. Hurry up, put them in the ground. We got an attorney to go see. What's left?
Sadly, that is correct.
Yeah, that's why I try to put everything into a family trust, non-revocable, and
See, yeah, there you go. See, you are, yeah, you're like 3 steps ahead of everybody out here, Justin.
well, I
If you
started doing that a
create,
couple
if
years
you
ago
create
because
you create the trust, make yourself the freaking managing owner of it. Put everything from your company to your house to your cars, everything in that trust. They can't fight over nothing.
nope, that's why I did it that way. Because I got a buddy of mine, his dad passed away, and his 2 brothers and sister, for which have been estranged from the family for 10 or 15 years, they came and man, they ripped through everything, man. It was my son, the question he asked me when my lawyer come over for dinner, he said, Dad, what are you doing with the 99 Freightliner? I said, I'm sticking that in the trust too, so y'all can't just rip it apart.
Jeez.
I don't know if my kids will because I try to raise them, to work together as much as they can and watch out for each other.
Right now, one 13-year-old that's willing to listen.
Well, it all depends. Like my middle son, when he goes into Marine Corps, it depends on how much that changes him.
My wife and I, our middle son is actually will be getting out of the Marine Corps. He's actually stateside right now. He'll be getting out in September. He's actually over in North Carolina right now.
My uncle, I talked to my uncle today, and he's like, "Yeah, after if you get tired of working for night, after a couple of years, he said go to Crete because he just retired from Crete, driving for him 12 years." He said that's an actually family-owned company. I thought they were a bit bigger than that. But Crete offers the same thing Knight does with the free showers and laundry at the terminal and all that.
Right.
That is a nice perk. But there's something that I learned with Crete or with Knight that I never would have done in my own truck. Because I always just filled my truck up. Always, I filled my truck up, filled it up. When it got to half a tank, I filled it back up to full. Always. Spend like $2,200, $2,300 a week in fuel. But the way they do it, they got you take and add your loaded and empty miles together and divide it. And that's the gallons you put in it.
Yeah,
I see where that saves some money.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I ran for Knight that way. I saw how they did it. I am more worried about raw fuel price more than I am about IFTA. IFTA's getting their taxes one way or the other. It's usually going to balance out the bill every quarter. You might save a couple $100, but at the same token, at the end of the year, if you look at raw fuel price, you're saving a few $1,000s, even after IFTA. You're saving more if you look at the raw fuel price than if you actually look at the IFTA.
Yeah. I'll get a full year on your mind. I can break all that down.
Mr. Rocky, how are you, buddy?
What's going on,
Good,
guys?
Rocky.
As you see,
Sitting
I
here doing
failed
some paperwork, and I was scrolling on.
I failed miserably with the background again. That's 2 nights. I might get it right by tomorrow night.
That's all right. You know how much trouble I had last night even getting it, and trying to figure out how to get it up on there. I don't usually go live. I'm usually on others, so I don't get to have all those options and all that crap and try to figure. And then it's different on the computer too than on the phone.
Yeah.
So I was trying to learn it, figure it out last night.
That one guy over there, he was telling me that earlier when we were talking.
Yeah, I was having a little tough time with it. I probably should have just airdropped that picture to my phone, went live on my phone, and put it as a background. And
I tried that. I literally tried. I tried on this. I tried on the other side. It refuses to allow me to put that picture up in any capacity. And I'm going, okay, yeah, well.
Hello, Miss
huh.
Audrey.
That's all.
Hey, Big Bear, when's your birthday?
Miss Audrey's in the house?
Yeah, she joined.
Yeah, she just checked in there at the bottom.
I just sent her an invite to come up. I like it
There
when
she
she comes
is.
up.
Oh, yeah, that's just straight up intelligence right there. How does Mike put it? AI, the new version of AI.
Right.
There she is.
I've been trying to learn how to use the chat GPT and all that too.
Hey, Little Red joined. What's going on, Little Red? We got Audrey, Little Red. We're starting to get a crowd.
What did you ask me?
I said we're starting to get a crowd.
Hi. I'm in Houston. Well, almost to Houston.
Hey, is it warm down there?
Oh,
Mr. Thomas would like to know.
Oh, it's freaking gorgeous outside.
Don't make fun of me, bro.
Why?
Hey,
Are you
listen.
up north and cold?
I'm getting ready to go down. I'm getting ready to go down there with no AC for crying out loud. Come on.
60 degrees up here, and I gotta go buy a hoodie. It's cold.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Lord.
So when they sent me to the Top Gun in Georgia, they said, "Oh, you're going to be going back home because we don't know when we're going to have you a trainer." Bet. So I unpacked some of the stuff out of my bag, for which happened to be a jacket and some other stuff and some longer pants. So here I am rocking.
Justin, you know it's trucking. Justin, you know
it is
it's
getting
trucking.
chilly.
You could be anywhere, anytime.
It's chilly
Yeah,
at
well,
night.
that's what and I thought about it after I was starting to leave, and I was like, I should go back and get my jacket. But so far, every time they've told me they can't get me a trainer, this, that, and the third, we're usually right on the money.
I was up there in North Dakota last night.
From the spice.
I was up there in North Dakota last night. It was 30 degrees. Happened to pull in this little rinky-dink truck stop, and I was kind of the first one in there around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it dropped down to maybe 20 that night. I had the truck off. I was enjoying every minute of it. Got out, walked over to the truck stop in a T-shirt, and everybody's getting out with hoodies and jackets.
Oh, I definitely. I'd have 5 layers on. I would totally have 5 layers on. 20 degrees. Now 60 degrees. I guess I can handle stuff better than Justin. But yeah, 20 degrees.
60.
No.
It was 54.
Oh, 20 degrees.
And it was
20 degrees, and I'm doing a jig through the parking lot. I'm as comfortable can get.
You sound like Matt.
That is me.
Oh.
But the night
Where are you at? I don't see you in there.
He's the host.
He's the host in the top.
I'm the host.
Yeah, the night before it dropped to 21 in Ohio.
See, I know you so well. I didn't get a chance to call you back earlier, man. I was going through Fort Worth, Dallas, traffic. I was heading down 45 South. There was 2 different 18 accidents. Man, that Schneider truck, man, he got smashed. 2 different accidents, like 3 miles apart.
What's going on, Wild Child? Sorry, Charlie. Had to say hi to Wild Child.
Good
Wild
evening.
Child pops in all the time.
Yeah, he was in there last night too. Good
Yeah.
evening.
And if anybody doesn't know, we're doing this all week. We'll be doing this again Thursday, Friday, and then all day Saturday. Thursday, Friday from 6 o'clock or 7 p.m. Eastern time until whenever it ends. And then Saturday, I'll be running it all day, whether I'm driving or not. And what we're doing is doing a fundraiser for free pizza for kids. Mr. John out of Kentucky and his program that he tries to feed the homeless and the kids in his area from single parents, and the man really goes out of his way. So we're trying to kind of put a fundraiser together, and then Saturday, anybody who donates over $20 is in a drawing for a free 3-axle alignment from Mr. Rocky himself.
And Saturday, I will be working, so I'm gonna take my tripod and I'll put it up, and I'll be working. So make sure my
That's all right.
AirPods are charged. And
yeah, I'll probably be running. I'll be out more than likely. I'll be on the road, so we'll be just running live, and we'll take it as long as we can take it. And like I said, every quarter, nickel, dime, dollar, it doesn't matter. It all helps this guy keep doing what he's doing.
And I know I'm going to kick myself in the ass. This is not meant to be offensive or mean, but Rocky, what's so special about your alignments when I can go to the local TA or Petro and have one done?
hang on one second, the wife just brought me a thing here. Okay, I don't know where it goes.
We're supporting a small business.
Give me 1 second, Sam.
Yeah.
That was my 2 cents. That's all I got to say to that.
I mean, besides the fact that it has Rocky's name on it.
Yeah, I think that right there kind of sells it.
Well, just that Rocky's got his name on it?
Yep.
All right, that's me again. My wife was bringing in the dog. The dog had taken one of them little transponder Bluetooth things for your dongle for your mouse or keyboard. The dog had one in the damn living room chewing on it, and she was bringing it to me to see what it went to in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the bourbon bacon burger, but no raw onions.
So, what were you asking, Sam?
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to be mean, but for other people that are wondering, what's so special about your alignment over going to the TA or something?
All right, we don't use computers, so we'll start with that. We do not put the truck in and pull it up on a rack and put the steer axle on turn plates, which relaxes all the front suspension components. And then we don't jack it up. We do jack it up, but we don't jack it up, set it down, and make adjustments. After we jack it up and check all the front end components, we move the truck, at least backwards, a truck length, and then we roll it back forward to a stop in an as-driven condition. We have yet to see a truck going down the road on turn plates. They're always tires on the ground with the scrub force. So we align them to the scrub force with everything set in an as-driven condition. We do a full inspection of all your bushings, torque rods, tie rod ends, kingpins, drag link, all the suspension stuff that affects the alignment. If any of that stuff is worn out, we won't do the alignment, and we're going to tell you and show you what is going on with the truck and what needs to be done first. Where these other shops, their goal is to make every dime they can off that alignment rack. So they're going to do the alignment and not tell you about none of that stuff. And then you'll come back to one of us guys in 2 or 3 weeks, and man, this thing drives like a hay wagon, eating my tires up and everything. And then we're going to find these bad components. Right. So and our lasers that we use are essentially just an electric string. We don't use factory build specs like is in the computers where you get the printout with that big green box with the red boxes outside. where they set it in the green box, tighten it down, send you down the road. We have a very tight spec that we set a truck in, all of us MD guys, and it's more, what we do is more of a performance alignment on the truck than your standard factory build spec alignment. The factory build specs are meant to align a truck, put it in the green boxes in 7.5 minutes. Okay. So they're a very wide range, and they consider that good and aligned and send it down the road. So, like if you were racing cars, you would not do that. You would set that car into a very tight spec. If you were racing race cars for different tracks, you set them differently. And basically, what we do, we set the truck up for performance and handling and ride on the highway. And our typical customer running over the road, if they will take care of their tires, and keep air pressure up in the steers, will typically get 250 to 300,000 plus miles on their steer tires. We get many with 300 plus on them, and they'll still have 6, 7, 8, 30 seconds left. So, and there's many of us MD guys around the country. I'm just a provider of the service here in Jacksonville. We have continuous training and education. A bunch of us work together all the time to stay up on new stuff and crazy, weird problems we found with something. We've got some Macs that we've had trouble with, or one of our guys up in Michigan found this problem, and then we started checking all of these, and then, we just keep up with all of that stuff and keep the truck running good and saving you money for less than the cost of a steer tire. We take care of the whole truck, and typically we will double or triple the life out of the tires of what you had been getting previously.
Hey, Rocky, when you say Jacksonville, are you talking about Jacksonville, Florida?
Yeah, I'm here in St. John's.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I live in St. Augustine.
Yeah, I'm right over here off Racetrack Road.
Okay, yeah, I'm right off of 95 right off of 95 at the 323.
See, you need to go to Rocky's for lunch.
Where the TA and Pilot are.
Rocky knows how to
329.
Yeah, what I do is, since I'm a local, they let me drop the tractor and trailer at the 329 TA, and I can park it in reserved for free up to 6 days.
I'm like 8 minutes from there.
Yeah. We're neighbors. Well, I don't actually have a place there. I rent an Airbnb when I go into town, but yeah.
Evening, Kansas.
Ooh, are you going to the 75 Chrome Shop Wildwood truck show, Rocky?
I'm not sure if we'll make it down there or not. That's coming up here.
The 24th and
weekend after next.
It's the 24th and the 25th, Friday and Saturday. I'm swinging through St. Augie picking up my daughter. Yeah. I'm going to drop my trailer at the TA and bobtail down so I can find parking easier. She was mad because I didn't take her to Matt's. I told her, I said, Matt's got a little rowdy. I'll take you to she's been to the Chrome Shop before. She likes it out there. I can already picture it. She's going to be a little trucker herself. You know, she's 15.
And the 75 Chrome Shop show, we've been to it many times. It's not really good for vendors so much.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room.
Because it's more just a beauty. It's just like a beauty show. You know, they got the show trucks there, and they do their judging and stuff, and that's about it. It's not like Matt's where you have all the
Well, I didn't know if you were going just for shits and giggles, I didn't know if you were just going for fun.
Kind of all depends on the work. All depends on the workload.
Hey, and tell me this: do you only work on rigs, or can you work on 4-wheelers too?
No, just the Class 7 and 8 trucks.
Okay.
Class A RVs and 7 and 8 trucks.
Well, if anybody knows a damn good mechanic that can work on my Jeep Wrangler, please let me know. I got some more serious
I've
work.
already got one. You just got to drive. You just got to get it up to Illinois.
Oh God, she ain't gonna make it that far.
That one guy knows all. He's all about his Jeeps. He will turn that thing into.
So Sam,
He'll turn.
Sam,
There
I've
you,
got
there
a
you go. There you go.
okay. I got a 2011 two-door, 6-speed. Her name's Black Betty. But yeah, she needs a lot of work because I'm never home. And so she needs like a heater core, she needs a steering wheel clock spring, she needs a new clutch. Hell, she's got 230,000 miles on her, still has the original engine and transmission. She needs a couple rear U joints, and I'm pretty sure you could find more stuff. Oh, and
You
I have a
know,
cool
you want
and
me
I
to
have a
tell you where
coolant
I
leak
would
on
take
her
it to?
too. Hmm.
I would go to Royalty Auto Service up in Kingsland. It ain't that far north of Jacksonville. That's where my
Yeah.
Ford's getting ready to go. They're on TikTok also. If you watch them, Sherwood and his son and them, he runs a great shop, reputable shop, and there's a lot of people here in Jacksonville, even St. Augustine. They'll put their damn car on a tow truck for 150 bucks and send it up there and have it dropped off. Or like for me, it's maybe 45 minutes or so up there. For me to run it up there, drop it off, and leave it for the week and go back and get it.
Does
But
he
them
charge
guys,
normal
they are
person
good.
rates?
Yeah, I don't know what his hourly rates are, but the quality of work that they do is
Yeah.
worth it.
Well, and that's why I was
And I know,
suggesting. That's why I suggested Sam. If you look at what he's done with some of his cars and some of his trucks, the man is a genius. His taste and how he takes something and turns it into something similar but completely different is phenomenal. I've seen some of the pictures of the pickup trucks that he's redesigned. Frickin', I mean, they stand out. It's
Oh,
not just the mechanical; it's what he can do with the body and how he looks at things. It's just, yeah, he's top of the line.
oh,
You just want my pickup that I've got now. That's all.
I'm not lying, dude. I won't even deny that.
wait until I get done with all the mechanical work on her, man. She's so the 379 that I'm gonna get, I'm gonna have my Jeep match. They're both gonna be like midnight purple with like a red flake. And then in the Jeep, I'm gonna rip all the carpet out and I'm gonna put black diamond plate down in the flooring. I'm gonna take them ugly ass plastic fenders off and put straight edge black diamond plate fenders. Yeah, I got a lot of ideas I want to do for her.
Charlotte will be at the mud pits. As soon as it's done, she'll be at the mud pit showing off with those 33s and big mud tires.
33s. Yeah. I got 35s on her now.
Okay, never mind. She's gonna bump it up to 44s.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I've got mine on 33s, and I like it on 33s.
I love my 35s.
But I've got a TJ that I had a guy telling me that you can't put 33s on a TJ with stock suspension without it rubbing. So I said, bet. Rip the fenders off, put aftermarket fenders on it, slap some 33s on there with the negative 44 offset, and it don't rub one bit.
See, and I don't have a very big lift on her. I want to get a better lift and suspension and everything on her. And
you're gonna need a stepladder to climb into it.
Yeah, and are you trying to say I'm short, Matt?
Oh no, I am absolutely saying you're short.
I know I'm short, okay? Gosh.
We're gonna have to get you one of those motorized lift kits for each side of the Jeep.
Nah. I'll just put my foot up on the tire and swing around.
Miss Audrey, how are you doing?
Currently in a very loving discussion with Dave McGowan.
Oh, I thought you finally gave up on that. What are you doing? Are you purposely trying to buy migraine medication?
No, I purposely can't wait to see him across the table in a courtroom.
Oh, yeah, we got wind of that.
Well, you probably shouldn't make videos and claim things about certain girls, especially when they have really nice shoes and they're not afraid to put very fancy words on a piece of paper.
Oh, don't pick. Has nobody learned in the last 100 years there's nothing like a woman scorn? I mean, has nobody figured that out yet?
My saying is that if I have to put on uncomfortable shoes, somebody's going to be writing me a check with lots of zeros before the decimal point.
No, good gracious.
Oh boy, I kind of actually am intrigued now. I want to know what all that's about.
No. Yeah, this has been ongoing. It's 8 months of catching up.
Oh. Oh my God, you guys should see this burger I just got from Denny's. Hold on.
No, I'm sorry, Miss Audrey. I didn't realize you were still dealing with that.
No, it just started again because of another live earlier today that I wasn't even part of. I actually was dealing with policy stuff today, which is kind of sad. I was on we're talking about how long it takes to actually make a difference. I was working on a piece of legislation that I've been working on for 7 years, and they finally just killed it today after 7 years of work on it. So, this is what I tell people is it takes a long time to make these changes. But the other sad thing is I didn't hear anything really positive about Delilah's Law, which is kind of sad. So
really?
That doesn't look very promising. No, it's only about a 20 to 30% chance that we're going to get it passed.
Is there anything that we can do in the community to maybe influence the numbers a little higher?
Well, I think the big thing is that, writing those personal letters to your congressman and your senator supporting that, that's where it's going to lie. It's going to come down to a floor vote. So, this is the one time I'll tell you. This is the one time a floor vote is when it comes out to so it's not in committee. Yeah, it'll come out to the entire floor of the Senate and the Congress. But this might be the one time I tell you, if you want to write letters of support and all that, that's definitely going to help because it's not looking very good right now.
Can I ask what kind of timeline we're under?
You've probably got a month or so. I'd say probably 45 to 60 days. A lot of that stuff is kind of getting tabled because of the war stuff, so you've got a little bit of time.
We're going to have to make a hard push really fast on the letters then.
Yeah. And
Can it be just simple wording?
Yeah, and the thing is too, Matt, I could probably draft some stuff and email it over to you guys that you guys could take and adapt for whomever if that would help you out.
Could you do that? I'll bring it up in our next meeting. You got both me and Sam in here right now, and I'm not sure if we've got Bobby in here still or not, but I know we're in here. We can take it to the next meeting, and maybe we can just start land-based videos out there to write congressmen and whatnot to, really reach out and get this dealt with.
Yeah, I can I'll put together an email that's kind of got the basic form of how to do it, and then I'll attach where you can get the list of who your people are, for each state. And if you want to share that with your members, it'd be helpful. I'm not going to argue.
No,
I'll text Sam my email address, so when you get it, y'all can email it, and I'll write my Florida congressman.
Yeah,
I'm very good at wording things.
I'll get right on the Kansas side.
Or make it downloadable on the FOPT site.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah, or that.
I just don't want to commit to it on a live without first talking to the entire group about it. I don't see why we wouldn't support it, but I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody that's in the group. But if you can do that, Audrey, and get us an email to follow.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get you something in the morning.
That would be phenomenal.
I'll get you something in the morning.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate
no problem.
that.
So what was that live today? I saw.
Did they say what was wrong with what part of the bill they didn't like? Or is it just holistically?
Okay, I can barely hear you. So you asked if what was the main pushback on the bill?
Because was there any portion of the bill specifically that created this friction?
Part of it is they don't like the idea of everybody having to go back and getting recertified and all that. That's kind of the big pushback. Labor and industry's pushing back on that. And then the other thing is that, and I think we've talked about this before, that feel-good legislation when you name a bill after somebody, it's one of those things that unfortunately, I hate to say this because I've seen this so many times, is that we have all these bills that are attached to somebody's name or somebody's situation or somebody's passing or whatever. They just don't get the credibility that they deserve. And what happened to that young lady was absolutely horrific. I'm not arguing. It's just the unfortunate reality of that so many times when we get feel-good legislation, it gets kind of disqualified purely for that.
Okay. That's kind
So
of sad.
give it
That's
a
actually
number.
kind of sad to hear that.
Get Bill 125 and put it through or something. You know, a name's a name. It doesn't matter as long as the bill does something.
Oh, absolutely.
You would think that it being attached to a name and a specific thing is what would make people remember exactly what that bill is and what it's representing versus like how what you just said, Bill 591. Who the hell is going to remember Bill 591? So you would think it would have the opposite effect.
Well, the problem is that if you're not directly affected by it, or if it's not an industry you're in, or it's not in your congressional or senatorial district, the attachment to that is very different. That's the problem.
I got you. Wow. I still really thought that was going to go somewhere. There seemed to be so much support behind it in the community, as well as what I was witnessing with legislation. It seemed like it was really going to take off and go somewhere. So,
yeah, it sped through the House pretty fast. It's the Senate that's holding it up.
Oh, of course, it's the Senate. Good. I'm telling you, we need to get some of the older guys. And I don't want to put anybody down. I don't know any of them personally, obviously, but we got to get the age limit down. Once you hit 65, it's time to retire.
Yeah, the guy that I bought my Freightliner Classic from, he's 71. He's old Navy vet. He's still driving, but he only drives when he wants to drive, really. But he's still leased on the Landstar.
Trucking is a little different than running a nation. When you get to running a nation, at 75, I'm not even going to know what a bill versus a dollar bill is. They ain't going to make no difference to me.
Well, we've seen a lot of that the last 4 years.
You can put a 50-page bill on one side of me and put $51 bills on the other side. I'll probably look at both of them and go, nope, I don't want either one of them.
Our country the last 4 years was the laughing stock of the world.
Well, that's on us as people. We're the ones.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
That choice is always on the people, and the people keep choosing what for whatever reason that they choose.
Well, and it's not just who the people choose, it's how the people themselves fucking behave. Look at the people of this nation. Oh my God, it's disgusting. And I'm just going to stop there before I get riled up. I'm enjoying my bourbon burger.
Yeah, well, we're a
enjoy that
nation.
bourbon burger.
We're a whole different nation than we were during World War I, World War II, Korea. We're an entirely different nation today. All you got to do is pull up CBS or CNNBC or whatever the heck it is. Obviously, you can tell I'm not very big into watching government. and watch the kinds of people that are outside protesting on a regular basis.
Well, I'm going to drop out because I got to get on the phone with my wife and have a nice conversation with her. So, y'all have a good night.
All right, buddy.
Bye, Big Bird.
You take care of yourself, Jade. We'll talk to you soon, Justin. Thank you for everything, buddy.
Yes, sir. Not a problem. I'll keep passing it on.
Audrey, I appreciate all the heads up. That's kind of sad to hear. In fact, it's really sad to hear. But
it's kind of like Connor's Law. I thought that would go a lot faster and a lot harder too, but it didn't go.
What happened?
We're talking about Delilah's Law and Connor's Law, and that it doesn't look like it's going to pass.
Jeez.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, we'll get there. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of division all over the country, not just in the trucking community, but all over the country. And I'm a little naive, but I keep thinking that that the Federation of Professional Truckers will be the ones that the light will start shining and people will start waking up and we can pull people together. It's naive, very naive of me to think that, but
I don't think so at
I
all, Matt.
will. I
I
will
think it's
firmly.
I think it's extremely doable. I just think all good things come, with patience. It's
Well, and
not going
that's
to
the thing.
happen overnight, dear.
Persistence and patience.
Hey, KSG, what did you find out about that? What were we talking about last night?
I was actually going to message you separately. They're good. What I couldn't find, they got a separate cargo policy, but their insurance is, and I'm glad I checked. It's solid. They're ironclad. I got to look at their cargo policy though, but they're legit. He's running correctly.
Other than that, I know I usually repeat this a few times alive. Well, at least this week we are running a benefit for free pizza for kids. Mr. John out of Kentucky runs this program about once a month, one Sunday a month. He's got his own little pizza maker or pizza oven inside the garage. Makes anywhere between, from what I've read, between 40 and 100 pizzas on a Sunday, and hands them out to the homeless, to single moms, single dads, things of that sort. Make sure that people have a decent meal on Sunday. All of it's straight out of his pocket. He does this without really a pat on the back or any particular agenda. He just does it. We tried to run myself, FOPT, and Rocky tried to run a fundraiser during Matt's. It really didn't take off. So this week we're designating all our time to trying to raise a little bit of extra money for John and this program that he's doing, which is why we're doing a live every day. Anybody who's willing to donate would be great. If you donate over $20, you get a free shot at a 3-axle alignment from Mr. Rocky himself at North Florida Alignment MD. All the contributions, 100%, will go straight to Mr. John.
Is he going to be on the show tonight?
I don't know. I sent him a message here a few minutes ago. I don't know what he had going on tonight. I know he said last night he would tonight, so and get him on for a few minutes.
Well, we'll be running every day. We'll start at 7 o'clock Eastern time every day. Open conversation. We only ask that no negativity, it don't go into personal attacks, no negativity, have fun. But conversation is open to about anything. As long as everybody has a good time and does it for the right reason.
I'm glad you said that, because I saw Anit come through and I was like, damn, I saw her talking about the live today and I missed it. I always miss the good stuff.
Which live?
What happened?
Something happened today. Audrey had commented on it too. But some live with one of the other groups, I guess. That's I guess it was McCown's.
Hey,
but
Sean,
I'm not sure.
Glad to have you here, buddy. Sorry to jump, Rocky, but yeah.
I know Vince was live earlier.
Oh my word, yeah.
Maybe it was this
or something.
He's not helping anything. We really thought we had a long conversation, and Vince has got this amazing heart. I mean, oh my word, he's got a heart. But I don't want to say anything negative about Vince, because he does have a heart. He's trying, but some of the people that he follows in behind, it's going to get him in a lot of trouble. And I feel bad for the guy. I really do feel bad for him. But he's only 6 months. He's literally only 6 months into any kind of advocation work. So he's got so much to learn and such a long way to go. And, listening to what's going on and some of the information that we're receiving. I'll be lucky if he makes it another 6 months, and he's going to be in a red zone that he can't get out of.
I think Sean's working with them, ain't he? Or no?
It's not a big hope.
I hope he is. He's really a good guy. He really is got a good heart.
What about the videos that he puts out though? Like the C.H. Robertson video. What about that? Like, you think you're gonna do that and they're not gonna say nothing?
Well, and that's we've tried to explain this to people left and right, especially over the last 8-9 months. There's a way to do things. Audrey has spent, oh my word, Audrey's got to be about blue in the face from the amount of times that she's had to repeat herself time and time and time again. I'm telling you, I think Audrey's got a lifetime subscription to Excedrin Migraine. There's no doubt in my mind that she invests in that company. But nobody listens. It's just nobody will sit there and listen and just take. And for somebody who's got a PhD, knowledgeable about how the government works, and basically telling you, hey, start here and go here and then move on to here, and then you'll start seeing change. Listen.
I would say people on TikTok don't listen in general.
People in general don't listen. We had Audrey, I can't remember if it was a week, 2 weeks. It was before Matt's. Audrey came in and said, listen, this is how you got to run it. And she said, step 1, step 2, step 3. I literally wrote all 3 steps down with notes going, okay, we're actually following basically how she's laid it out. And it's right there. It's literally right there. She lays it on the line for you. Why don't you just follow what she's saying? There are smarter people than us out here. We're not dumb, but there are smarter people. Listen to them.
There are smarter people than me by for sure, and I'll totally admit that. The thing is that I started out where all of you guys started out 25 years ago, and it's just I don't want you to have to struggle for 25 years to get to the same place that you want to get. That's the big thing. And Matt, I will be at Matt's next year. Like, I've kind of just made that commitment, but it's one of those things of it's just like, I don't want you guys to have to struggle as long as you have to get the things accomplished you want to. I mean, again, there's people way smarter than me that are out here and do the same kind of thing. So,
are you bringing the goats or the cows to Matt's?
I am not bringing either one. I'm just bringing my happy, smiling face. There will be no goats. There will be no anything. I told her
the goats that she can do a goat massage. Take
I know the goat massage. I know, like everybody.
There.
I keep hearing about that. No, but I will. By that point in time, I'll have my series on lobbying and advocacy done and published. So I'll bring those and I'll hand those out so you guys can take your own piece of that. So that I will bring. No goats, but books.
That'll be cool.
There you go.
That'll actually be very cool. That would be something a lot of people would be interested in and really looking into and getting to know that knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be super. I mean, again, it's not my world, but I just think that being able to kind of combine those two, I think will be really beneficial. And it's just a different way to look at things and a different way to approach it. And, accomplishing the goals you want to accomplish. I mean, it is a process. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do.
Right.
Hey, Mr. Matt, can I say something to everybody?
Yeah, go ahead. Just be nice.
Okay. It's come to my attention that people are upset with Dexy, so I want to apologize to everybody to Dexy if Dexy said anything that offended anybody and any wives or any wives that you guys were on with Dexy. So just want to throw that out there. Dexy never intended to offend anybody. And I think Mr. Matt is like the greatest advocate ever, and you're the next Jimmy Hoffa. So I just want to throw that out and throw all support around behind to Mr. Matt. Because it was pointed out today that Dexy gets on panels with Mr. Matt just to listen to Mr. Matt. So, and that's absolutely true.
Hey, listen, I really don't want to disappear, man. I enjoy conversation with Audrey and the people I work with. I don't want to be the next guy that just goes missing. I might have to send out copies of my birth certificate and social security number to people and say, listen, if I go missing, check here.
Look, Hoffa's not missing. That's just an old wives' tale, an old myth.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
No, he's not missing. He's in the ground underneath concrete in Michigan.
Yeah. Is it Michigan, or is he actually, did they dump him into the frickin', the Grand Canyon or something?
He's got concrete boots in Lake Michigan.
He came up missing in Michigan.
They've had multiple searches in Michigan. The last one was $2.7 million a few years ago.
Yeah. He's in Michigan. Or else they took him to New Jersey and put him in one of them car crushers.
Listen, I still just believe in people, man. I believe in people. I believe in the industry. I believe there's a way to get past the division, and I'm not the only one. All of us in the Federation believe it, in one facet, form, or another. It's just a matter of finding a way to be able to pull it off. And there's 300 answers to 8,000 questions, and then you got people. We have a good group. We have intelligence. We have Sam. Sam's a bottom line guy. He'll take a question and ask 8 million questions to answer one question and find the bottom line. What's the absolute bottom line? You have the mind. You have Mike, who's really got a mind. A lot of people don't really give him enough credit, but he's got an amazing mind and how it works. You've got Laura, who is kind of like the soul of the place. You have Bobby. Without Bobby, we would not be as organized as we are. Without Tab, our treasurer, we would not be in a financial situation where we know what we've got available to work with. You got me, which is the heart and the naive heart. You've got an amazing group that have all come together and believe in the industry, still believe in people. We're not fighting just to grab attention. We're fighting because we believe it can be better. There's a plan in place. Everything's got its own steps. Some Audrey said a long time ago, I just brought up a minute ago. There are steps that you have to take. Erasing division lines and bringing people together and then putting them under one banner where everybody's talking and shaking hands and at least getting along. If at least respecting one another. And then that moves into, that grassroots grows to a point where you start seeing outside organizations or outside interests look at us and go, wow, this is a real, they've really done a great job with this grassroots. It's really taking off. How much more could they accomplish with funding? That's where the money comes in. It's 1, 2, 3. And that's, once the money starts flowing, and this is straight out of Audrey. I'm basically stealing her words in a small way, shortening them up a little bit, but her words. Once you have the money in there and you've done all the work, real change starts coming in. That's where real change starts making its the Federation can start looking at, okay, what can we do? What can't we do? What's already codified? If it's already codified, it's almost impossible to take a codified decision, which becomes basically United States law, and changing it. No judge wants to overturn a law. No judge wants to overturn a verdict. You show me one judge that will sit there and overturn a verdict, their own verdict, they're not going to do it. That's near impossible.
Only if you're in Minnesota.
Well, what I'm saying is you've got to look at what you can win and what you can't win. And those are some of Mike's words, some of Audrey's words. You've got to look at where the battles can be fought and where they can't be fought. And you do it the right way. Now, am I happy that we've got to do it the way that it is now? No, I still believe that a country's government serves the people. The people don't serve them. But we have been locked into a certain way of things being done in this country. And even I am not arrogant enough to believe that I can sit there and overturn 150 years of the way things have been running and turn them into what I believe it should be. I'm not that powerful. I sure as heck ain't God.
They overturned Roe versus Wade. You gotta have faith, man. Gotta have faith.
Yeah, but
unprecedented, never heard before.
I understand that, but
well, and also don't forget, there's a lot of talk about the midterms coming up, about Congress. It got about an 88% chance of flipping to Republicans, so we'll have a Republican president and a Republican Congress.
But there's still a way that we have to do this, and the Federation is, with guidance. We're not stupid. We're taking guidance.
No, but I think that you'll be able to get the attention of more ears higher up in regards to, how the trucking industry is, as far as, the things that we stand behind, as far as getting sexual predators and stuff out of CMVs, making it safer for women and children and men and families to be in the trucking industry, and for the families that are out on the road. And as far as the regulations and everything, absolutely everything. I mean, it all goes above FOPT, and those are the ears that we got to get a hold of. And right now, it's really difficult because we've got so much pushback from the opposite side that's anti-trucking, and I think that, once that time comes, if we just keep pushing and keep growing and building, the louder our voices get, in a respectful, dignified way, not, in any way to turn somebody away from, the things that we advocate for. I think that we'll get more important people's ears, when comes.
Well, that's where we got to put the work in.
Charlie, I would push back on that because I'm not sure who you got that statistic from, but actually I'm going to tell you, everybody in my world says it's going to be just the opposite, that Republicans are going to lose control and you're going to have a lame duck presidency. But what I think is interesting is like, so I get daily briefs on all industries, and do you want to actually know? So today's daily brief, I can go to the Transportation Committee. Do you want to know what their top topics are? Because this is going to surprise, I think, a lot of people. The top 7 topics right now in the Transportation Committee are federal admissions and environmental regs, pushback against California's Advanced Clean Trucks rule, so the ACT rule, market conditions and freight demand, infrastructure and highway modernization, specifically Wisconsin's 4.9 modernization project, autonomous and AI trucking, driver turnover, so labor and safety issues, and fuel prices and tariffs. That's what they feel the big issues are. So this is just the committee brief for the week.
Okay, I agree with about 3 of those.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is that when you're talking about getting those things heard, again, it's the disconnect between what you all are talking about and what they're talking about. And that's why I gave you that list, is it was just more for context.
Audrey's spot on there with that list. It's exactly what they're looking at right now.
Well, I can agree with and I can't agree with about 3 of them. It's the turnover rate and the market, especially fuel prices. Fuel prices right now are just insane. It's hurting a lot of people, especially operating without contracted freight, without the fuel surcharge. A lot of people are operating off the spot market, and it's hurting people. But that
spot market's great.
There's still other there are still a lot of issues that are in the trucking community that probably won't even make the list as far as transportation committee is concerned. And it's basically because they don't know about it. They're not really. I don't know if they're actually sitting down with truck drivers and actually having intelligent conversations, or if they're sitting down with other individuals who think they know what they're talking about, but and doing something completely different. That'd be interesting to find out.
Yes, please. Here, I'll go ahead and
letters are great. I mean, phone calls are great, whatever, but they don't go very far, right? So you've got you've got to make that face-to-face contact. And I've said this for months. Is I said, so give me a spot, tell me when you want to do it, and let's get 6 of this. Let's get a bunch of these guys from the transportation committee sitting down with you and actually having those conversations. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of those are Western senators and congressmen that I work with every single day. And I was actually having this conversation with a senator yesterday about, what are we actually doing in the transportation industry? What's good? What's bad? And they're not, what he told me they're concerned about is not anything that anybody's talking about. And I'm like, well, that's interesting, except for fuel prices. That was the one thing that we agreed on. Only because
that and broker transparency. Those are the only two things that people understand.
JJ. Good evening, JJ.
Yeah, broker transparency. Oh, my word.
But
that's what they're talking about. That's what they talk about. That's all they know.
So, yeah, he was only concerned about fuel prices because he owns planes. But, I mean, that's the thing is that, and I'll make that offer again. Get a group of them together and let's get a date and let's get these guys. So you have a panel of congressional, senatorial staff, those guys, and talk to them. You get 3 minutes as a driver or whatever and moderate it, whatever. I'm okay with being the bouncer. I'm down with that job. And let's do it. Let's get them in front of them because that is the only way you're going to change the narrative.
Well, let me ask you something. How would we go about, it wouldn't be hard for the Federation to reach out and put a panel together. Well, it might be a little harder actually speaking it, but if we got the panel together, what's the next step from there?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a time and a date. I mean, it's the logistics of that, obviously, but, set it out 5 to 6 months, and we invite every single person from the transportation committees and the Senate and the House, any of them that touch that transportation stuff, and say, okay, at Iowa I-80 on July 15th of 2026, we're going to have this. We want to talk about real trucking issues. And then I just get to hound them and chase them down and make sure they commit to it, which I'm fine with doing. But everybody has to behave themselves and act like professionals. That's my only caveat to that is, if you want them to hear from real drivers and you want to have that conversation, then act like professional drivers.
So here, I just want to make sure I've got everything on page and on point. If the Federation took the time and we put together the panel, and I'm not talking about just truck drivers, I'm talking about, truck drivers, advocacy, real advocacy individuals, which means they have to have intelligence. Professionals from the broker side, from the small carrier side, from the fleet carrier side, and put those, let's say I put something together, and I'm using my area as an example, but we found a place in KC, it seats up to 200 people, it's November 1st of this year, and put it all together and send it out, and put that on put it out there. That would be far enough ahead of time to pull all this together. Am I understanding correctly?
You are 100% correct. It's doable. It's doable.
And you really think that would make the impact that we would need to make at this time, at least to get them to start listening?
Yeah, it is, because they don't know who you are. If you're writing a letter, you're making a phone call, it's just a voice or a name. If they pull up to, the Radisson Hotel and there's, 7 Kenworths out front, that has a tendency to make an impact, right? They see families, they see kids and the spouses and all of that stuff. It's real faces with names. Politics has to be personal for it to matter. They have to see a face. They have to, and I think Charlie made a point about this, and she said, I don't understand why, feel-good legislation doesn't matter because there's a name tied to it. In some aspects, that is beneficial because you're going to be meeting with those people, right? Like, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I saw this guy here, or they brought this to the table, right? And so that does make a difference. But and that's the tough part is that you have to, and I teach this really early on, is that you have to position yourself as a subject matter expert, right? Like, you're going to go talk to somebody in Congress. They've got to believe that you're the subject matter expert on that topic, right? I've been driving a truck for XYZ amount of years. I'm an owner-operator. This is what I haul. This is the area I cover. This is my business. This is my family. All the story. That is what makes the difference. It's not just a name on an email, and it's not just a phone number. They're like, hey, this is Matt. This is who he is. Here's his family, all the things. That makes a difference, and it opens up the door, because what you want them to do is when they're sitting there and they're like, hey, there's a transportation bill, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm not really a transportation expert. They're like, oh, yeah, I met this guy. His name was, Matt. Yeah, I'm going to send an email and be like, hey, how do you feel about this bill? That's what we need them to do.
Got you. Okay. We got a heck of a that's what I'd like to bring to the board about.
You actually don't. We've chatted this behind the scenes, man. I mean, you've got the talent, the voice, everything. It can happen, man. If you need the platform, let me know, man.
But here's the thing, okay, Dex, and I appreciate the confidence. I really appreciate the confidence. But I'm not the only one for the Federation. There is a conglomerate of minds, hearts, souls. I am just one of the conglomerate. I really am. It's not going to be me alone. I can't do this without Sam. I can't do this without Mike. I can't do this without Laura. There's no way I would be able to pull it all together and keep it organized without Bobby.
We're not asking you to. You got to have a face, man. Do you think Vince could have done what he did without Hulk Hogan as a face? No, nobody else could have pulled it off.
Yeah, but
everybody behind him.
But you've also got Sam, who's becoming a very big face.
Well, then do it together. Listen, bring him in on stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to get the ball rolling, then you can bring people in.
I appreciate the confidence, but it's us, not me. I am never an I guy. I am a we guy. No different than when I talk about the trucking community, I don't speak of it as an individual. I'm speaking on it as behalf of as an industry.
If you want to achieve something, you got to find a path, least resistance, and do it, man. I mean, you've got to have a face on something. You can bring people in at other times, but you got to connect with it. Like, you got to get the public and everybody to connect with you, and then you say, hey, look, we do this. Like, you got to have a big
Dexter,
bill and then throw it in on the.
I don't think that you're understanding what Matt is saying.
No, I get it.
There's only so many things that he can do when you're on a board like this and you're representing what they represent. There's only so many things that he can do solo, without getting pushback and repercussions from the board.
But he's not doing it solo. You guys are all one. You just need one face.
But we're not. Yeah, but we're not the board.
Man, look, this is like a company. You got a CEO, you got a board of directors. They're pushing the behind.
You absolutely do, and I understand what you're saying about.
You got to have you got to have the dude to stand out there, and then you got everybody behind you. See, everybody's got to play a role and know it.
I understand what you're saying, Dex. My mindset, and this is just a mindset for me. I understand that, Hoffa was out in front while there was so many people.
There we
in the
go.
Background.
Now you're getting it.
Hold on. Where there was so many people in the background, and they were the actual support for keeping Hoffa up in front. But I want Sam's face out there. I want Mike's face out there.
You can do that eventually, but you got to get there first, man.
I want everybody to understand that. Here's the reason why. Today, now 1970, 80, 90, people would have looked at that and they looked at that face and they went, okay, everybody's behind him. Today, everybody looks at that face and goes, that's the man right there, without recognizing there's a whole team that comes with that. So today, it's important that they see Sam. It's important that they see Lori. It's important that they see Mike. It's important that they see the faces of the team standing shoulder to shoulder to shoulder and standing that line. Not one face, all of them.
In solidarity.
And they will. When you go to these rallies, they will all be there with you.
Yeah, but somebody,
one person has to give the speech. One person has to give the speech, man. One person has to be the spokesman.
You're going to get more people following FOPT if the entire board is in solidarity.
I would agree. I would push back in Dex and be like, a rally is one thing, but where you're trying to educate a group of people, you definitely want every single face associated with that organization and all that out front. You want that support staff to be, you want it to be a bunch of nerdy, geeky people like me behind the scenes going, okay, Matt, here's this policy brief, here's this, here's Sam, stand still, I gotta fix your, your shirt's kind of sideways, like that's what we do, right? Like that's how that goes down. But yeah, you definitely want that. You want the full board. You want the full support. Matt can give the opening and closing remarks as whatever, but you definitely want that solidarity. And the other thing is that the drivers and the business owners and the brokers and whoever else shows up to that needs to see that as well.
And that's what I'm trying to, and that's it. And I understand, Dex, your point of view, but when I picture later down, and it's coming down the road, when I picture, a state, an educational piece, or doing a motivational speaking, or standing up at a rally for something, I see all of us standing on that stage, not one, all of us. When we went to Matt's, it wasn't just me out in front, it was Mike, Sam, Laura. We were all there, shoulder to shoulder in that 10 by 20 booth, standing as an entire unit. When we went out and ate, we went out as an entire unit. When people saw us, they saw us as a complete unit.
FOPT is a lot stronger and will make a bigger impact that way.
That's what drew people in, is because the CEO and the presidents and the secretaries and the treasurers and the VPs, they were all there. They didn't hide in an office, 100,000 miles away. They were all there, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder. And that actually makes more of an impact than me being out in front just doing what I do, because they're seeing one person, they can tear one person down. You can tear one person down in a heartbeat, but you can't break the chain that's standing in front of you.
That's exactly what I mean by the solidarity of the board together brings strength. And then you have all of the members and all of the supporters of FOPT behind those people, behind that board. And it just becomes as I don't want to say powerful, but that's the only word that I can think of. More influential and impactful are the words that I'm looking for. Yes. So I completely understand what you're saying, Matt. And I understand what Dexter is saying too. Matt is, even though we all know Matt has that genuine passion and pure intent, that selfless intent, it also is he's sort of like the PR kind of the FOPT, because
and that's one side, and then you've got the mind, and then you've got the intelligence, and you've got the soul of the place, and you've got the financial wisdom. There are so many factors that I could be out here talking to you guys and get you all hyped up for the next 10 years, but without the team, without Mike standing on my left, whispering in my ear, hey, listen, don't forget about this. Or talking to Sam in the morning, hey, listen, have you thought about the bottom line answer on this one? Or, hit me with a butt ton of questions, or Bobby in the background going, hey, listen, stay off of that topic. Let's focus on this one and keep everything organized. Or Tab in the background going, hey, I know we want to go stand on that stage, but we're not financially there for it yet. Without the team, or Laura going, hey, what about the small fleet carriers? What are we doing? Don't forget about them. Without the team, I'm nothing. I'm just a voice. I'm just a man with a great big heart that loves people and loves what he does for a living. That's all I am.
You have that no matter what. You look at Goodwill. They have a spokesman. They have that. They have the team, the CEO behind them. It's the same thing. You can have them travel with you, but you need somebody at the podium that's going to be able to talk, field questions.
That's where,
and then everybody else is going to be with you. So you have the team. You just need to step up and be like, dude, I am the spokesman. This is who we identify with. And then you can say, this is everybody else. You can give them all the praise you want. That's cool. That's what everybody else. Look at all these successful organizations. Follow them.
Dex, this is where everybody is a spokesman. This is what I'm trying to.
And that's fine. They can do that.
I'm with you. But you
got to get people in the room and got to get them to open their checkbooks and get behind it. And that's how you do this.
Yeah, but first step is not opening checkbooks. First step is never about opening checkbooks.
You need the money, man.
Audrey, hold on a minute. Audrey made it clear. I know that you weren't in that conversation that day, but Audrey has made this clear. I had the steps written down. In fact, I think basically the board is pretty much following them word for word. And I believe myself, Bobby, maybe Mike was in that one, and Sam. But she spilled them out one by one. 1, 2, 3. Exactly how it needs to go. And the board is basically following it. We're right on the money. We're following, we listen to her and take her advice on it. We're not detouring. But when you stand you can stand there, dude, I can rile you up all day. I can rile up 50,000 people, no matter where I go. I can rile them up and get them positively thinking and passionate again. But if somebody was to come to that microphone and say, hey, what do you think about this? I'm going to have to reach over, tap in Mike or tap in Sam. Because now it's on them. I've got them riled up, but now I don't have all the answers. I don't have 38,000.
Say, this is the expert. Let me turn it over to you. Thank you for your time.
But
there you go.
You got to use each person's strengths, knowledge, and personal experience.
That's why you go around, you tour, and you do it as a team. It's simple, but you open up the show, man.
And that's what we're doing right now.
There we go.
Unfortunately, right now, we're not really, yes, we're here. We're the FOBT. We're having a great conversation. This is wonderful. People are getting to know us a little bit.
Iowa Jam, man. Get to the Iowa Jam.
We're here today and all this week to raise money for a gentleman who really goes out of his way to make sure that the hungry, the homeless, the kids in his area in Kentucky get a pizza on Sundays. That's what we're here doing today. And the reason being is because the Federation believes by involving and bringing the communities back into the trucking industry and helping them realize that the trucking industry is not all anti-community, and bringing them back involved, it's going to increase our standing later down the road. It's going to show them that we're still out here. We still believe in our communities. We're not out here disrespectful. We still have professionalism out here, and we still care. And that increases what we're going to be doing later down the road. That's going to increase support. Now, and we'll continue doing it this way. We'll keep including community projects that are going on inside your community, my community, Audrey's community. There could be a fire department looking for, new gear in July. And they're doing a fundraiser. Okay, great. Let's see if we can pull together some funds somehow for this fire department. Or, I was a fireman. Audrey was a fireman. Several people have been volunteer or paid firemen in their life. Help them out. Show support to the communities. The communities will then back you up later down the road. Re-involve them into what's going on in the trucking industry. Even if it's just helping them out, it's going to gain their interest. You just increased your platform with kindness, positivity. Stop it. You know, I made it clear on my own personal page. I haven't done it on Federations. I made it clear on my page. Stop with the bullying. Do a 30-day cleanse from taking pictures of people at the truck stop and putting a video out of them. Just leave it alone. If they're doing something wrong, walk over to them, shake their hand, say, listen, you might not want to do that. There's like 18,000 cameras around you right now. Show them some kindness. The reason why the communities hate us right now is because we're all over social media. The truckers messed up here. They messed up here. Oh, look what they did here. Get it off get it out of social media. Don't do it. It's not funny anymore. I get there's jokes about Swift, there's jokes about JB Hunt. Oh my word, there's so many jokes. But why are you showing them bouncing into a bridge? When you do that, they think that every truck driver out here doesn't know what they're doing. You're destroying the entire industry, not just one Swift truck, it's the entire industry. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, Dixie was made aware today that people don't like that sense of humor anymore. So Dixie won't be doing that anymore in Trucker Nation.
JJ, go ahead, man. I want to hear what you got that we're missing something. What do you got?
Trucking's a big community, and you guys don't have the community.
Not yet.
Well, you don't, and you won't unless you actually start reaching out to the Sings and to the Latinos and to the blacks and to everything, the transportation industry. Because I can tell you this: when I was leading the factoring company, 60 to 70% of the companies that signed up for factoring were minority based. And what that took.
We're just getting started, man.
Hold on.
I have every intention of reaching out to every one of them. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's not I. We have every intention of reaching out to those groups. Every one of them. Every single one.
Yeah, but the problem is,
so my question is, what are you reaching out with them? What are you reaching out with them? And I have a response to that too. So like, when you reach out to the Latino community in Laredo, what are you gonna say?
We'll approach that as that's a topic that.
Well, that's the jokes, right? Like the Si Senor.
That's not how we're going to approach it. We're going to approach it with
that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit that's going around. And here's the thing: you said don't do it, right? A little bit ago, you're preaching, hey, don't do that. Right away, cut people off like that and just say, hey, you need to fucking stop the nonsense with this shit.
What do you mean?
Like right away, I said, how are you going to approach it? And he's just like, si, senor. Okay. Like that's not cool. That's not cool. And that's what I speak about. Like, and so whenever you have jokesters like that, when you have jokesters like that in your group that think that they could do that and they think it's funny, and you're having a serious conversation, you're not going to get anywhere. And when you have that, and I go tell them, hey, they allow jokesters to go make fun of the Mexican community, nobody's going to support it.
I ain't making fun of anybody.
Oh yeah, you can't be doing that, dude. Like, you're trying to bring a community together, but you guys smash each other all the time. That's what's missing. Like, and you're right. He said the most important thing: go up to the people instead of taking a video and tell them you're not doing something right. Do it right. Do something right, and you'll get a lot more people that'll support you when you do that shit.
Hey Dex, hold on a minute. I gotta let one guy up. I'll let you back in just a minute. Hang on. Can you?
Yeah, there's quite an interesting back and forth in the comments here.
One guy, take the box. Sammy, it's yours.
I brought him up.
Thank you.
JJ, who made the comment that you're talking about?
I made the senior comment.
Oh, Big Bird, come on. You know better than that.
So, like, we're having a really good conversation. Big Bird, right. Like, Big Bird, I like you, man. But we're having a really good conversation about bringing, like, the communities together, which I support 100%. And so, like, let's make sure that we number one, let's stop by attacking people, like, on all these platforms, because I told somebody today that my job's at risk just like everybody else's job's at risk. Everybody that's in trucking, we're all at risk.
JJ, we have actually started reaching out.
What's that?
We have actually started reaching out to a few of them. But again, we've just started. We're still infants as a group.
And I believe it. Like here's the thing.
And we can't reach out to everybody overnight. We got to take it one at a time. And if you start reaching out to 100 different people at one time, everything gets mixed up and you can't keep track of everything.
I agree with you. I agree. Here's what I'm trying to say is you're gonna have to approach each community differently. And
absolutely.
Everybody's the same, but everybody's different.
You're absolutely correct.
Hold on. I have a question, and I'm not saying this to upset anybody. Please, I don't want to offend anybody, but the way that I look at it is, okay, like the military. They see their brothers and sisters in arms and they say we all bleed green. Well, we're all truckers. Why should it matter whether we're white, black, Mexican? Why can't we just approach wait a minute, let me finish. Why can't we approach the different ethnicities the same way we would approach any other ethnicity? Because we all have the same regulations. We all drive the same kind of trucks. We all do the same job. So why should, if you don't want, diversity and segregation, then don't continue to feed it by approaching different people differently. Approach everybody as one.
But you've got to sit there and approach everybody differently because it's got nothing to do with diversity and all that. It's got to do with how people respond, what they respond to. These groups aren't segregated for a reason. They're segregated because that's how society's done it.
Yeah, but
the Latino groups have turned around and gone off on their own because it's easier for them to understand each other than it is to sit there and bring in like a bunch of others with them and they don't understand the background.
But what does, so educate me so that I understand. What does the Latino community experience different as a trucker than me or anybody else? Don't we all experience the same regulations, the same idiots on the road, the same shippers and receivers?
Let me answer that. I can answer that.
Have at it, buddy.
Okay. You've never gotten questioned, nor will you ever get questioned about your citizenship.
Stop it.
Okay, is that it?
That's a big deal. People are afraid. People are afraid.
Well, no, I'm not saying that it's not a big
deal. People are afraid. You understand that, right? People are terrified.
I'm not saying that that's not a big deal. I'm asking, is that the only thing that separates them? Yes, that is. I understand that it's huge. I'm not belittling it.
Okay,
I just expected more than. I just expected more than one.
Well, you asked, and I gave you an example, right? And like it's like that example's not good enough.
JJ, hold on.
That's not what
I understand what she's saying. Let's see if she's saying, and if I'm wrong, correct me. But what she's saying is, if that was put to bed, if that right there, that one issue was put to bed, are there any other differences other than that major, which is a major issue? I'm not taking that away. But if that was put to bed, What else are we needing to look at? Is there anything else other than that needs to be looked
That's
at? Other than
exactly
that?
what I'm saying. So
So let me.
JJ, please just simmer down a little bit. I even
Well,
specifically
I'm.
said to
So
educate me. I'm wanting to learn. I'm not trying to offend or belittle or anything like that. I want to know.
But you asked a specific question, and I gave you an answer. But like, let's move on from that, right? To answer your question, you still need to know. You still need to know who you're talking to and how they actually operate and why they operate. A lot of these guys down at the border, for example, they've had their businesses for years. They all have the same struggles that you guys have. There is no differences. You guys are all. I call you guys the diesel reps. You all guys love the road, and you guys smell like diesel, and I'm happy for that. And that to me is a great profession, and that's why I defend it. I defend it. I defend it in everything that I do. But I make sure, and I don't care. Like, and I'll give you an example. I know that people don't like Dave. All he's trying to do is better the industry. Now, does he do it the right way? I don't think so. I don't agree with some of the things, but I don't go bash him. And so one of the first things that you have to do is, even though you don't agree with him, he's part of the industry. He's part of the industry. And when we don't need to bash people, like, all you have to do is bring them together, maybe have a conversation with them. And I know it's hard to have a conversation with them to bring them to the light, because the guy has 22,000 followers. He got 12,000 people on a signature, man. And so he has the ability to change things, but like, we all have to come to the table, and we're not all going to agree. Like, I don't agree with everything.
But is it okay how he tears down other drivers?
I agree with that too. I don't think it's okay.
So
I don't think it's okay.
JJ, the problem with, and because you brought up Dave, I'm going to use him as an example, but there's many others like him. The problem with individuals like Dave is they don't see a big picture, and their way is the only way. They're not open to anything. I walked into a live that he was in, and the moment I made a comment, he'd seen it, he ducked out.
And I agree with that too, because I actually had a conversation with him. I was like, hey, you can't get heated and you can't throw missiles and expect people to like you. And this whole conversation isn't about like liking or not. I said what I said. I might not agree with him, but we need to bring him to the table and talk to him and straighten him out, and myself included, straighten me out. I have my faults. But like, at the end of the table, we put all the pieces together, and we put it on a chalkboard, and we talk about what's on the chalkboard, and we don't stray away from that. Because you start straying away from that, then people's feelings start getting involved, and then people's emotions get into it, and then people start making the wrong decisions. And then it's like the blame game. And in trucking, man, I'm telling you guys, if we do not come together, I'm obsolete. You guys are obsolete. Everybody's going to be obsolete in trucking. It's coming, guys. It is coming, and it's coming fast.
So
I'm going to push back a little bit on that, JJ, just purely because, and not from the trucking standpoint, but from the advocacy standpoint. Trucking is one industry and advocacy is something else. The stakes are different. If you don't have a unified message, if you spread false information, if you create lies, there is a legal consequence for that. If you guys have a conversation at a truck stop and you want to spin yarn and you want to do whatever, that's fine. But when you come onto a public platform and you spread lies and you spread misinformation, then we cross these lines into these legal things about defamation and all that other kind of stuff, and then everybody gets shut down. So
that's what I said, Audrey. We need to sit him down and talk to him. It's like people make mistakes. People
there's no talking to him.
Well, you know, like, and I might be wrong. I might be hopeful, guys. I might be hopeful. But like, when I look at putting things together, right? I'm looking at bringing your worst enemy to the table and saying we got to agree and fight against this.
I would never agree with him.
That's okay. And maybe I'm hopeful, but like, I'm telling you guys, everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own message. Do I agree with everything? No, I don't. But there is one thing I agree with. Fucking love trucking, and I hate to see the truckers like getting bashed over. I hate it. Because I go into all these lives and everybody.
That's my stance.
Yeah, and everybody here, like I've heard it since 2008, and my uncle's been in trucking, right? He owns his own trucking company, and like I've heard it like, and everything's changed, and it's always like people are bashing carriers. They treat you like shit, and you don't even know how many phone calls I review from clients that brokers treat them like shit. They literally treat them like shit, but their HR department prevents them from treating each other like shit. They'd get fired if they did that. And they're not held to the same standard when they talk to the trucker, which is supposed to be their partner. And then you put them in a box. You put them in a box, and you get them all worked up, and that's why the stress, the food, everything that's against you guys. And I feel like I'm part of it because I breathe it every day. Although I don't drive, I feel like I'm part of the trucking industry because I know it so well.
JJ, do you see how drivers act on this app?
Oh, bro, like I get it. Dude, it's frustrating.
It's not just this app. It's any social media app.
Yeah.
They are our own community attacks our own community on a regular basis.
I got attacked today in my own life.
You see it with the videos. You see it in lives. You see it in some of the actual lives like we're performing. We got going on right now. It's one thing to say know everything, and there's an old rule. There is an absolute rule that goes back generations. That when you think you know everything in trucking, it's time to shut up, turn in your keys, and go home. You're done. You'll never know everything about the industry. I thought I knew a lot. I met Mike. Mike knows a little bit more. Mike and I both ended up meeting Audrey. Audrey knows even more. Then we bumped in, Sam comes in. Sam knows a lot. And then we bring in a small fleet carrier. We didn't even recognize, know the complexities of a small fleet until she come in, until Laura become a part of it. And the complexities are a lot more. There is so much you need to learn as an advocate and be willing to shut up and listen. And take notes. JJ, we're talking about the different communities out here inside trucking, the Latin community, the Eastern Indian community, the Black American community. I don't even know what the social term is for that anymore.
Me either. I don't like. That's why I was like, that's why I was teetering on that.
I don't like any of these terminologies because if you're here, you're basically an American. If you're doing it the right way, if you're legal and fighting to be legal, great. If you're born here, great. If you want to be a part of America, just do it the right freaking way. We'll help you find. You need a lawyer? Oh, you know what? Tell us where you live. We'll point one out for you. Just do it the right freaking way. That's all we ask. And there are so many in the Latin community right now standing up and saying the same damn thing. We see it in the Eastern Indian community. We see it everywhere. The legal ones are sitting there going, hey, listen, you just do it the right way. We're supporting you. Just do it the right way. But there should be no division lines.
I agree with that.
There really shouldn't be. How do you approach the Latin community? By treating them the same as I would treat any member of my family or any member I would come across on the road.
That right there is exactly what I was trying to say.
Shake their hands, give them a cup of coffee, sit down, have a long conversation. What's bothering you? What do you need?
Oh, the Latin community. Hey, the Latin community, you don't give them coffee. You ask them for Cuban coffee, and then you won't have to sit down the rest of the day.
There it is. And okay, you're not wrong, but that's a learning lesson. And then you sit there and you do that with all of them, and you make sure they understand, the Federation. There's no division lines here. We don't see you as Eastern Indian. We don't see you as a Black American. Somebody's going to punch me in the mouth one day with this. We don't see you as Hispanic. We see you as a brother and sister of the road. We're sharing the same. You're 6 feet away from me at any given time, at any given truck stop, or any given shipper or receiver. You're no different than I am. The color of your skin is a pigment thing. It's not a human thing. It's just pigment.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't have a whole lot of time. I've been an advocate since 2018 for the trucking industry. I've been to Washington, D.C. multiple times, been involved in multiple different organizations through the years, and we've gotten a few things done. I know a lot of the big power players that that go to Washington all the time, and personally know them. And so one of the biggest things is you talk about the black community. That's a hard community to get involved. I'll be honest, they don't get involved a lot in the advocacy world. They really don't. If they do, they do it on their own. That's about it. May Day 2020 proved that. I think we had maybe out of the 600 that came through, we might have had 10 black truck drivers show up at that event. And then a lot of the other events, it's hard to get them involved. I don't know why, but it just is. The Latino community, easy to get involved. They are all about getting involved and helping with stuff. The Punjabi community, freaking phenomenal. They've got some power hitters.
Yeah,
that really
huge
do a
power
lot
hitters.
for them.
Huge, and they got money.
Huge power hitters. And the organizations I work with, we've worked with them as well. And so a lot of things have done. The biggest thing you got to learn, though, in the advocacy world, and they're going to tell you this, we've been told this by what's his butt in Texas, Ted Cruz. We've been told by several different congressmen and senators across the board. On the federal side, you have to start in the local in your states. You have to work to get your states to change stuff. If you can get your states to change things and get enough states to change it, then they can push it down the federal's throat and they'll do it. A lot of that's got to do with that, to help fix things. The other thing too is the only way we're going to fix it, and I said this at Matt's, if you guys were in there when Danielle was speaking, if any of you were there when Danielle was speaking, I said it at Matt's. You have to run for public office. I'm running for Indiana House of Representatives right now. Currently, we have to get drivers to run for public office. That's the only way we're going to get anything changed, because we are so underrepresented in Washington and on the state level. It's not even funny. That's the only way you're going to fix things, because we don't have the money to compete against the ATA. We just don't. And that is our biggest competition.
I'm asking a question. What if we've got, and this is hypothetical.
Okay, I can tell you.
And again, I'm naive. I'm naive enough to believe I can do this. But what if we had the numbers and the money?
OIDA hasn't done it, and they've been around for 50 years.
OIDA don't care about the drivers.
They do.
No, they don't. They sold out.
I'll disagree with that. I was a member of them.
The people, Matt, you can run the game.
I don't believe OIDA has sold out. What OIDA is in a situation where they can't do things on the public side of things real big. They can't call for slow rolls. They can't call for strikes. They can't call for protest, anything like that, because if they do, they can actually get arrested by the feds and shut down completely the way they're set up. That's why they can't do that. The best thing for OIDA to do, to be more proactive and more radical like they used to be back in the day, is if they would split OIDA into two organizations. OIDA as the advocacy group, and OIDA as OIDA that everybody sees it as now, as a partner with trucking companies to help them and owner operators to get them deals and stuff like that. If they'd split those two and set up the advocacy the way it needs to be set up to be able to do what they want to do, they'd be safer. Right
well,
now,
then they would have to run their pack correctly then, because they are split like that. They have a pack. So OIDA has a pack already, and those are the old guys that control the checkbook. They're split already. They're just not using it.
They do have a pack. You're right. I'm not talking about. Well, OIDA has a rule with their pack money. They don't give money to any politician unless that politician is willing to sit down and talk to them in a meeting. That's the only way that they can get money.
They send their lobbyist out, because I've seen it with my own two eyeballs that they'll send their lobbyists out. They're split. I mean, they already have a split. They've got a pack. They've got their advocacy side, and they've got their trucking side. The thing about it is that OIDA makes too much money off of talking out of both sides of their mouth, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, how much money do you think OIDA makes a year on the advocacy side?
Go to Open Secrets and you can see it. I mean, this isn't top secret information.
On the advocacy side, OIDA brings in about roughly $5 million.
No, more.
According to their 990s right now, they're sitting on over $80 million in assets.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Assets.
Well,
Yes.
that includes banking too. So like, and what they spend.
But you're looking at assets. They're an insurance company. They're flipping fuel discount company. They're all kinds of different things. They got licensed freaking lawyers that work through OIDA to help you with lawsuits and stuff. So,
do you know how much money they make on the fuel side? I can tell you,
2 to 3 cents a gallon.
2 to 3 cents a gallon. They have about 4 million gallons. It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
All they sell is 4 million gallons a year.
Yeah, because RTS sells like $100 million, and then you got your TCS that falls behind your A to Bs, so they get a very small percentage of it.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying
I used to run a large factoring company, right? And so I understand the numbers and what OIDA was making and what OIDA would do, right? OIDA like would partner with these factoring companies and make money off of that too, but like they would partner with anybody that gave them money, which is not what you want to do.
But what I was getting ready to say is on the advocacy side, you just look at membership dues, and that's the only advocacy money you really should look at. Everything else is profits off of what they're doing, selling other products. So if you look at their advocacy side of what they're bringing in, they're only bringing in $5 million a year because it's $35 a year, $35 to $40 a year, and they got 150,000 members. That's not that much money.
I don't disagree with that.
It's not much.
Yeah, neither do I.
But here's the kicker. You can shuffle money around and it doesn't appear on an FEC filing either. You can take a senator out to a steak dinner at the downtown in DC, and it can be a fuel conversation if the word fuel comes up.
Yeah.
The thing is that there are more than one ways to skin a cat. The only $5 million that they're accounting for is the $5 million that they wrote directly to candidates or issues or issue candidates. That is the only thing they're accounting for. If you look at their filings, it doesn't say, hey, I took 12 senators out to the downtown in DC. They don't account for that. And that is the thing, is that you can manipulate the books however you want on those filings to get them to say whatever they want. $5 million, the only reason why they're only accounting for that much money is that's the checks that they wrote that went to a candidate's fund or another PAC, which that's a whole other thing. They can take money from their assets and they can give it to another PAC, and it's not accounted for either because that's completely different. That $5 million is such a red herring.
But you're right. But what I'm saying is when you stop and think about it, they don't have that $5 million is what they're getting in membership fees. That's their advocacy money, is the $5 million they get in insurance fees. Or not insurance fees, but membership fees. That's where, and if you ask OIDA, why don't they give more? And they look at you and they say, well, have you looked at this building? Well, it takes a lot of money to keep the lights on in this thing. So they do a lot. There's a couple other companies that advocate for small business and truck drivers as well, besides OIDA, but they do it for profit, which is fine. That's the way they set their business up in the beginning. But they still advocate for truck drivers. NASTIC, they advocate for trucking and for small business trucking. But when they set it up, they set their business up for profit, and that's the way it's been from day one. So anytime they advocate for themselves. They
use trucking as a stepping stool.
Well, they use trucking as trucking is what they're built for, is profitability. That's where they're providing services to truck drivers and the small businesses is what they provide business to. That's what NASTIC is. And then they advocate a little bit when they can on certain issues. I've seen where OIDA had a bill or was pushing something, had a really good stronghold on it and was going to get something done, and NASTIC agreed with it, and they cut OIDA a check for $1 million to keep pushing on it, just to help push it through, because they couldn't do it themselves. So it's all
and then there's using that idea. That's kind of what the Federation's whole, one of our purposes is. It's not that we're not going to do this as the Federation alone. we're going to have to bring in the organizations in the Latin community. We're going to bring in the organizations from, let's just say the other communities, because I really don't want to get punched in the face because I said it the wrong way. But any other trucking community that's out there, and there's quite a few of them. Everything from to Chinese, Japanese, Eastern Indian, you name it, they're all out here. But you got to get organization from all of them and create this umbrella. I'll give you an example, and I'll tell you an example. This year, it's reach out, and that's what we're doing. A lot of is reaching out, and now we're just getting started with it. As Sam has said to everybody, we're only 7-8 months in, so we're still babies in comparison to what you've done. But
and here's another thing. Before I jump off here, I understand what your intention is. Everybody's got the same intention, trying to bring everybody together. We've all been doing the same thing for the last 8-10 years. But here's the thing. If you do it, I'm going to tell you how to do it and make it work. Whenever you have discussions or big meetings or anything like that, you do it in person, number one. Number two, you keep it off of these platforms. Do not put anything on a platform for discussion. Discussions are done in a private room with everybody there. This is how the ATA works. They will fight, threaten to kill each other, take over each other's businesses, want to cut each other's throats in these meetings. The moment they walk out of that ATA meeting, the only thing that is spoken about is what was agreed upon in that meeting, and that is the plan. That is how you are successful in this. When we bicker and we argue and we talk shit about everybody and their brother all across the land, when we're out here doing everything online and we put it out there and everybody's public, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. You have to stop, because those businessmen that run multi-million and billion-dollar businesses know that bad publicity can shoot them in the foot. So they try to keep it to a minimum. We as owner-operators and small trucking companies have to do the same dang thing. You got to keep all the disagreements, all the butt hurt, all the cussing and all that crap out of the public eye, so that nobody sees it going on. They think it's all kumbaya, and that's how you get people to join.
Well, let me ask you a question then. You brought up some brilliant things. Let me ask you a question. We put a panel together and invited you. Would you show up?
Where you want to have it at? Because
I'm just general question. If we were able to put a panel together and say, listen, we want all the big leaders of the industry to come together, sit down, even if it's a yelling and screaming match for freaking 24 hours, would you show up?
Oh, I'd show up, and I can tell you right now, we're the best place to have it at. You got one major meeting a year, and you set it up and you have it in Louisville, Kentucky during MATS. It's the best way to get all the big guys in one spot, because a lot of them are there just to see what's going on and talk to people and hear what everybody's got to say. That's your number one spot to do it at.
Well, and thank you for that. I'm actually writing that down, and I will take that I will bring that to our board and put it up for consideration if there's something that we can do to bring that together to make that happen.
And since I go by just the numbers, I'll let you know who I am. I'm Daniel Kors, also known as Short Stack. If anybody's been watching through the years of advocacy world, my name is Daniel Kors. I mean, I've fought against him, and I've been on the same page as Charles Claiborne. I've fought against Mike Landis, and I've been on the same page as Mike Landis. I was one of the original 18 organizers of the People's Convoy. I got out before they took off, but because of some stuff that was going on behind the scenes, but I got out. That was my choice. It was a wonderful event. Went off without a hitch. It was great. But that's what I've done. Part of the People's Convoy.
Well, and I will. If
Mayday 2020.
If our board approves,
what's going on?
Well, if we can put this together, and this is something that we can put our minds to and make happen. No promises, because I don't make promises on behalf of the federation without talking to them. But if I bring this to the board and we can make this happen, you'll get an invite, man. Because it's not a bad idea. It's really, and we looked at one of the conversations that we personally had, and I'm not afraid to put it out here, it's transparency, it is to bring these groups to, bring them all to a table, to put them all in, to say, hey, listen, we're looking at bringing everybody together in one section and send each other to the other's table. Let them go talk. Shake their hands, listen to them, learn from them. Put the advocacy all in one area and show a united force. One united force, not everybody bashing one another, not one talking evil about the other one. No disagree. Just, okay, this is where we all agree.
Mm-hmm.
It shows a unity.
Mm-hmm.
And
here's the other thing. When you work with big organizations like, say, OIDA, the Punjabis, what is the other one? There's one out west. There's another one out west that's got a big following out there, and then you've got some up there in the New England states that's got a pretty good following of stuff. If you work with these different groups and you bring them in, you have to know that they'll talk with you and they'll work with you on certain things, but other things they may not want to work with you on because they don't agree with it. So what you have to do is you got to work on the things that you guys agree upon, and sometimes you might even have to jump on the bandwagon with something you may not be perfectly on board with, but you can see where they're coming from and see where it will help. You just think it might be a little different to do it a different way.
Okay,
but
I do want to
take. If you've got big heavy hitters, you take it. You go with that one.
Because I do want to take a minute. Our secretary has just reminded me. I do want to reiterate. We will be live today, tomorrow, and Friday, as well as Saturday, most of the day. The effort is to raise money for free pizza for kids. The gentleman's name is John. He is out. Rocky can tell you a little bit more about him. I didn't read his entire profile, but he is out of Kentucky. Once a month, he opens up his oven inside his garage and makes anywhere between 40 and 100 different pizzas to distribute to his community, to the homeless, the single moms, the single dads, and make sure that these individuals have a hot pizza on that Sunday. All of this is straight out of his own pocket. He's got, I don't know what his donations are, but I know he does a lot of this without, he does it just because it's the right thing to do. The Federation has stepped to the table, and we tried to run something during Matt's. It didn't take off as well as we would want it to, the Federation and Rocky's booth. So we are going to spend this week raising funds as much as we can raise. Every $20 that is done gets a free entry into a free 3-axle alignment from North Florida Alignment MD, which is Rocky's company. Rocky has donated a value of, a front-end alignment at the value of $425. Any extra expenses are not included, but the free alignment will be drawing Saturday night. So any donation over $20, you're welcome to send us your name and phone number. We'll put a ticket in the box, and we'll be drawing that on Saturday. So, just keep in mind, we love the conversation. We're going to keep it going, but if you can pitch in $5, $10, I will put a link in the room in here now, and you can go to that link. I don't know if you can copy and paste it, but you can go to that link and make a donation. If you do not want to enter the 3-axle alignment, you just want to donate, you can go to that link I just posted and make a donation. Otherwise, we have a Cash App, a Venmo that you can donate to. And like I said, any $8 gets you a free entry into the drawing Saturday. Rocky, anything you want to add to that?
I think you pretty much covered it. I'm trying to find the link here myself to put it in here. If I can find it here. But, do that Saturday and just trying to raise money for John. Does free pizza for kids and help him get his oven fixed up, 70-year-old oven, and keep making pizza and giving it to the autistic kids and homeless, and at least one Sunday a month does about 140 pizzas for moms, single moms with kids that are hungry, and all in his area of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Thank you, sir.
We'll try to have him on again tomorrow night.
I appreciate it. And again, listen, for those that are in here, those that are listening, the Federation's all about, and I hate using the word unity because it's so overused and used in the wrong manner, but we are looking at bringing the industry together. This is a very difficult task, but it's one that we're determined to keep pushing on. If you're here, we'd love to hear your opinions. Just keep it clean, keep the fighting to a minimum, bring knowledge, bring some questions. We are here to listen. But we remember this week is all about this free pizza for kids. So, if you've got $1 you can spare, $5 you can spare, it's going to make one kid or one homeless person a little bit happier on a Sunday that they receive a hot pizza. So something to keep in mind.
Good night, Sam.
Night, Sam. Thank you, buddy. And again, I want to reiterate, the Federation's not just me. It's not just Mike. It's not just Sam. It's a complete organized unit that fights shoulder to shoulder, and we always will.
I have a question because I'm new, and I'm sorry to interrupt. What's the baseline of the Federation, like the specifics? Because we're talking about aligning the industry, but what is exactly the specifics that they're fighting for? Like, is it a bill? Is it legislation? Is it generalities? What is it?
Well, you got to start. We took a long look at, and I want to start at the beginning because I don't want to leave anything out, and I want you to understand how we built this.
I appreciate that.
We started by looking at all the different trucking organizations. Most of us have 20. Well, I think Sam is at his 15th or 16th year. But the rest of us that are in the organization, for the most part, with the exception of our secretary and our treasurer, have anywhere between 25 and 30 years in. I believe Laura, who is a small business owner out there in Colorado, I believe she's even got more than that. We started looking at how most of the organizations operate, how they section off communities, how they gate them, how they've created the mass amount of division that's out here. We took them and we basically turned them upside down and shook them by their heels and went, okay, here's what we're seeing, all the mistakes, and here's what we're going to correct. We're anti-division. We don't see you as color. We don't see you as race. We see you as a human being that loves what they do, because if you don't love this job, there ain't no reason to do it. But you're out here for a reason. You're one of us. And if you're one of us, you're worth fighting for. And we're not divided. We have a line. There's a standard. And that line doesn't get erased. A lot of these organizations draw a line in the sand, and when they can't meet it, they erase the line and they draw a new one. We have our line, and it's etched in stone. We're not coming off of it. We're not creating a new one. We're not bending. We're not bowing. We're not going to shake hands with the wrong people. We're going to do this the right way, and there's steps, and we recognize them. And the first step is reaching out to everybody and going. And membership for something that you're trying to make change for should not cost you. You should be able to believe in somebody that can make change and never have to draw a dime out of your pocket. That's one of the big differences. Our membership's 100% free, always will be, as long as the Federation's in the fight. Everybody's got a chance of getting knocked out. So as long as we're in the fight, you're there, and we're welcome to support. Once the membership gets to a certain volume and we start erasing the division lines, then there's a step 2, and that's taking it further. You can't make change. Audrey was in here. She stepped out, but One of the things that you can't do is make change with the division where it is in this country right now, especially in the industry. You have brokers divided from carriers. You have carriers divided from drivers. You have drivers, that are divided from other drivers. And they're parked 4 feet from each other every freaking night. You have to erase the division lines. The hardest process in the world is erasing those freaking division lines. That's where we're at right now. Are we pursuing certain things in the FMCSA? Absolutely. We have a rule
That's
change.
why I think a lot of questions. What we
have
people start spreading this. What is it going to be? What are the rules you guys are trying to change?
Well, there's several. We want to go after the hours of service. The hours of service. We are the only industry in the world that is literally nickeled and dimed down to the second. We shouldn't have to be. We want to increase the education. The education out here from company driver to even the owner ops, not all, and I'm not saying all, but there has to be an education level. You want to go from driver to owner op. Do you know what you need to know? Do you know your cost per mile? Do you know what your insurance costs are? Do you know how hard you're going to have to work for the first year and a half, 2 years in order to get yourself to a point where you're not working so hard? Education. Free. You ain't got to go in and pay $35 to watch a video. You ain't got to subscribe. The education's there. How do you maintain your money? How do you budget it? What to do with it? Education. So now you've erased the division lines. You've your numbers where we're hoping that once the numbers are there, people on the outside industry see that right way and willing to finance it. Once you have financing and the numbers, then you start looking at FMC real. Start digging into the FMCSA and going, okay, is this something we can change? Because if it's codified, and I said this earlier, if it's codified and it's already U.S. law, the chances of overturning it are near impossible. So why battle that one? But are there regulations like hours of service that can be modified? Is there, can we make a change with the ELD? ELD was initially a punishment, became a mandatory, and it's literally got you down to the second. Can we change how we use a split sleeper? Can we change it from the 7.382 to the 5.5.6.4.7.3 and the 8.2 to open up those times where we're stuck at a shipper or receiver for a lengthy amount of time, which will extend a driver's operating capacity within 24 hours. What is it we can change? And that's where you start. Audrey stated, can we put together a forum where we bring in senators and representatives to that forum and allow professional truck drivers 3 to 5 minutes to express what's going on with them professionally, of course, out here on the road, so that they actually get a working knowledge of what's going on out here. None of them know. They're not in our seats. We're not in theirs. So open that line of communication.
Okay.
Can the Federation pull together? Can we take, all the different groups, all the different ethnicities, and say, hey, listen, the Federation wants to work with you. Are you willing to work with us? Can we all come together as a conglomerate? And we may not agree on all 30 things on the list, but we agree on 15 of them. Can we all work together on these 15 and get these 15 pushed? Because if we can, then that means we can relook at the next 15 and go, well, okay, we got the first 15 done. Maybe we can work together and get this done.
Right, and I appreciate, the group can have, compromising, aspects of each one of the list points you're talking about. When you start asking for membership and money, they're going to want to see exactly what the alignment is in terms of what is the change you're looking for, not just, everyone working together, but what exactly, like you said, the hours of service, education, ELD. That stuff is what's important. People are going to want to know what you're trying to. And then the other question I have is this for drivers only, or can it include other members of the industry, like say intermediaries?
Listen,
brokers.
I have literally got a meeting coming around the corner, and it's more educational on my side, me as an individual, so I can bring it to the federation down the road. But I've got a meeting with 2 brokers and somebody who used to work in a factoring company, because I want to hear their side. This is, in the industry is not just the truck drivers. There is miscommunication, misinformation, miseducation through the, brokers are pointing at truckers are pointing at brokers. Nobody's pointing at the shippers and receivers until we get mad. It has to be the conglomerate of the industry. The education has to come from every side and find an equal line that we can all stand on and work coherently. Not just one. It can't be just the truck drivers, because then the truck drivers are going to unite and point at everybody else. But there's a problem with education, because we don't know what the brokers are going through. That's an education thing, a misunderstanding. If we get the brokers involved, where they can sit there and look you eye to eye and say, listen, these are, I have operating costs too. It's not cheap to run a brokerage. We don't know. We don't own a brokerage. We drive trucks. But they know. And if you can bring that education to the trucking industry and allow them to learn it, the same with a factoring company, the same with, and we're not going to agree on everything. But if you got education there, you have a point to start at. So this is the entire industry.
Right. And I was just trying to align all sections, even insurance and folks, insurance lobby. Like when you're talking about putting together a group, try to align the big ponies. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to make a difference instead of just drivers and brokers. You got to have, I hate to say it, but the ATA a part of this alignment. I know it's hard, but if you can align those groups, which is very difficult.
You see, and this is my personal opinion, and my personal opinion I really shouldn't share on the Federation's page, but I have a personal opinion on that. I have a personal opinion on OIDA as well. There is something there that just I can work. Smell it. Well, it's. I'm not going to say it doesn't work, but there's too much information out there that shows a major clash of drivers versus OIDA and ATA. There's something missing there. There's like this big gaping hole, and that gaping hole has a lot of questions in it. So this is me personally. I'm not saying that we won't. I'm just saying me personally, and I really wish this was my personal page right now. I just have a lot of questions.
I got you. And I feel the same way about the factoring industry. That's the one that I'm not aligned with at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of education that has to go in there, and a lot of information that we need to obtain. But it has to start by looking at organizations the way they are and have been for the last 40 years, and going, this is just wrong. There's no real positivity here. It's they're feeding off negativity. They're gating people off. They're gating communities, and you're turning one community against another. We're not turning any community against anybody. And Sean, just out of curiosity, just so you can answer your question, we actually talked to Vince. We actually invited him into the Federation during Matt's. We have been waiting on him. And sorry, that was a little off topic, but we as an organization, we're not going to go running into Washington, D.C. We've already made that decision. We have watched Washington, D.C. fail, and fail again. It gets a little bit of press for maybe 48 hours, and then they forget we exist again. It's not
you want
the way
to use
to do
DC.
it. You don't
want
have
to use
the
DC at the very end.
Yeah, that has to be the end goal, not the beginning goal, the end goal. FOPT really has a solid plan. We're not rushing it. We knew that the industry's been going downhill for 50 years. Nobody There is nobody, I don't care who you are, that's going to fix it overnight. There's a lot of work that has to go into this industry, and it starts with connecting brokers. It has to start with the factoring companies. It has to start with the small carriers, and you have to connect them all and have a sit down and go, okay, here's, can you talk your side? Can you speak about your side? And get them communicating and talking. Real leadership. Not leadership that's going to boast, preach, or pat themselves on the back, or that has any agenda except to rebuild the industry better.
Yeah. I'll throw one suggestion out there for you guys. Sure. Just because I was a part of that industry you need the enforcement agencies involved here. You absolutely do, because without the enforcement, it's the Wild West. We can make any rules we want, but at the end of the day, if people aren't made an example of and the shit doesn't come out, it's not going to change anything.
Well, and here's the thing right now, and this is, again, I believe that Mike, our CEO, myself, I believe most of us are on the same, I think all of us are on the same page. Positivity right now has got to be the forefront. I agree that there are certain lessons that have to come down the line, but honestly, I think time handles that. Right now, we need an organization that isn't going to divide, that isn't going to separate, that it will pick people up off the ground instead of knock them down. And that's got to be the forefront of any organization right now.
I'm offering my services to help there. That's what I'm trying to say. So maybe I misspoke there, but I can bring the law enforcement, the right people to a meeting if that's ever set up. That's at least so they know what's going on.
Well, and the enforcement side needs to pick up too. We know that listen, you drive through the 48 continental states, okay, any truck driver, and we can all kind of agree on this. I think we can all agree on this. There are a lot that are anti-DOT, but the enforcement does not have the numbers it needs to do the job properly.
Right. I'm 100% agreement with you there. The DOT IG is less than 400 agents, so I agree with you.
Go ahead, Sarah.
I just came in. What are we talking about enforcement? Like,
as far as it could be anything. It could be running under false authorities. It could be, breaking violation. It could be anything. We don't have the enforcement out here. We don't have the number of DOT officers. That not only do we not have the number of DOT officers out here to enforce the size of the trucking community, but I believe that there are so many that look at a regulation and they don't see the regulation. What they see is their version of the regulation. So they don't really understand that all 48 states are operating differently off one regulation.
How can we have any enforcement though when we don't have no clear leader in like Duffy? Duffy's not very clear on anything he says. So
I won't comment on Duffy. I won't put that on public. I'm sorry.
I know you can't, but I can. I understand.
I am a firm believer that yes, he is doing some good. I mean, look at the history. Right now he's doing something, and something is better than nothing. The problem is there's no plan for the enforcement side. Without enforcement to back it up, nothing's going to happen.
Correct. I mean, I can attest to that 100%. And the education on the enforcement side is a big issue as well. So that's why I said I could bring enforcement in there that have an open ear to. A lot of them just don't know exactly what's going on. They're not in the trucking industry. They're given essentially a mandate and a baseline to enforce. And unfortunately, like you said, every state has different levels of enforcement and different resources. It's time to stop using the law enforcement as using trucks as rolling ATMs. That's not gonna. That needs to stop.
KSG, can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
So you come. So you said you come from the FBI, right?
Chicago office, retired. Yes.
Yes. So then you got involved in trucking somehow or another through another agency or something or another. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to assume what you're involved in because I don't know. So do they not when they have you guys like doing what you're doing? Do they not educate you guys like? And I'm not putting you down in any way, but do they not educate you guys on like hours of service and stuff like that? Like, are you guys
not for the FBI.
No?
Our task force on the behavior side is what these organizations were doing to figure out exactly how they were getting by. A lot of it was systematic, like the FMCSA's portal, but the task force originally was designed because there's so many missing potential serial killers on interstate roads. That was with the original task force, like close to 500 potential serial killers, and we never really were tasked to touch the fraud side of it unless it crossed a certain threshold. Now, the problem is the FMCSA is a safety administrative organization, and the next level up would be the DOTOIG, who has less than 400 agents, but they deal also with aviation, rail, maritime, and that's, fraud against the government. There's really there's no in between. And unless you have an agency and people specifically for that, everything that we're talking about, if it's not enforced, it's not going to go anywhere. That's my biggest fear.
Agencies, how many people work in these agencies that...
You're breaking up a little bit. The FMCSA has about 1,100. The DOTOIG is less than 400. And in comparison, the FBI is 23,000. But the FBI is not going to touch like trucking fraud, hours of service. They're not going to. That's not their realm.
So all of these FMCSA agents or whatever you call them, right, that work in DC and whatever, do they all understand like all the rules of trucking? I mean, they're making laws for us, but I've ran into a couple of them that don't know even what we do.
Well, you're talking about like DOT, and usually the FMCSA uses state patrol, local law enforcement to police those policies and those regulations. The FBI doesn't have a training for truck fraud or any of that. No, the task force was put together to try to figure out what's kind of going on in the industry, but there is no agency literally there. So Congress gave power to the FMCSA to make those regulations, but the person really that you got to point out is the secretary, who is Duffy. He's the one who needs to kind of take the bull by the horns and literally say, hey, here's the problem, here's how we're trying to fix it, now let's go do it. So, but yeah, to answer your question, there's no training at the FBI for trucking regulations or fraud.
Something I want to put out there real quick. I just did a real quick number on the counts that you just gave. 1,100 plus the 400, that's 1,500. Those are 1,500 agents for 2 million trucks. That means it's one agent for every 1,333 trucks on the road.
Well, it's much bigger than that, but add rail, add aviation, and add the ports.
So I just did the trucking side of it. So you're starting to see why there's a problem with enforcement. If there's only one agent for every 1,300 trucks and that's just trucks, but if there's only one agent for every 1,300 trucks, there's a problem.
But how many of these agents understand what we do and they understand hours of service without looking at a computer or a book? How many of them know what we do out here? How many of them?
We're already seeing that problem. That it's like what we were just discussing. There is so much, misinterpretation of the FMCSA regulations out here that you can go state to state and get written up on the same regulation in 48 states for a violation because there's the interpretation of it. It's not there. everybody's interpreting the laws in a different point, shape, form, or facet. What we need is an education on those regulations for those enforcement officers across the board, where it's a flat, where everybody's thinking the same thing, not several different ways. And we're seeing and the truck driver's pocket is taking the hit for it. So we need to, that again, but that again goes back to education. It's more than just the truck drivers that need to unite. It's the entire transportation industry that needs to come together.
That's exactly what I was trying to say, because
this is an entirety thing. This is,
right.
This is sitting down with, if we, and I'm using this as a possibility somewhere down the road, but you put a summit together, we need, whoever the lead is for DOT, for the state trooper's office, from every state to be there and go, okay, this is how this is supposed to be interpreted. And then they take it back and teach, everybody below them and go, okay, this is the standard, so that it's flat across the board. This is not an overnight fix. Nothing that we've got going on right now in the industry as a whole is fixable overnight with one bill or one remark or one group. It's going to take the entire industry to come together and go, you know what? We've had the misinformation, the miseducation, the division lines, they all have to cease. Everybody's got to stop going me, and everybody's got to start going we. And I don't mean the little pig that's running down the road.
Yeah, I cannot speak for the DOT training, but at the same time, those officers, I can promise you, at least the ones that I've worked with, are absolutely aligned with a lot of the problems that are going on. The other issue is that, unfortunately, many states don't have rules against quotas. So a lot of times you get these bad agents who will literally write tickets, and it's literally revenue for the state. And that shit's got to stop too. So,
well, nothing's going to stop there until you put a line on it.
Right.
Can I jump off topic real quick so I can tell Rocky something real quick? Hey, Rocky, sure. I talked to Kurt a little bit ago, and he put in like 20 applications today, but he's putting all of his applications in with 1099 Chicago companies.
Oh.
Is that where he's putting them in at?
Yeah, I told him, I said, that ain't good. I wouldn't do that. You're going to find yourself in the same predicament. But he said, well, I need that 75 cents a mile. Okay.
He's in a financial situation. And like I said, I think he needs to go to Knight. If Knight still offers it, I can make a call tomorrow and check. But if Knight still offers that's where he's having a problem. He's having a problem because he's in a financial crisis. And he's looking at the higher paying jobs. The problem is whether you have to run. There's no stopping with those companies. They will reset your hours 4 different times just to keep you going.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill. It's gonna kill them. It's gonna kill them. It's gonna put them in a bad place.
Everything that he just worked for, he's gonna lose it again. Yeah. I told him, I said, go over there to Merzick. I know Merzick is letting drivers. They got dedicated lanes right there in Florida. Go over there. They'll run you. You'll make some money over there. They're illegal.
And last time I knew Knight, and like I said, Knight did a pay by finish load, which means if you did a load Monday to Thursday and you dropped it and got the paperwork in by noon, you're paid on it by Friday. And that just keeps rolling over. So if they still have that pay, that'll help him get out of the financial problem that he's in with a more secure carrier than those carriers are running up there. I mean, I don't want to send anybody to a mega, but he's in a financial pickle, and I get it. He's looking at the money to get himself out of the pickle. But by signing up, anybody that listen, I know a lot of people that say they're great, that hey, they fix my hours and I can keep running and la da 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 da. There's gonna come a time they're gonna get caught, and when they're caught, and somebody wants to crack the whip, anybody who's running under them is gonna feel it just as bad as the company will. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when he said he was doing that.
He's desperate. I understand that. Desperation makes people do goofy things.
I get being desperate, but when somebody like Rocky goes out of their way to help you, at least try to do the right thing. I mean,
well, sometimes that's a little harder to do when you've got a wife and family, and you know that's a conundrum. You know, you look at Rocky and you're very appreciative and helping him get back on his feet, and then but he doesn't have to look at Rocky every single day. He has to look at his wife and kids every freaking day and go, okay, I've got to do something, and I've got to do it now.
So she was the one sitting there on my live just now. That one guy stopped by too, and she was on my live just now. Well, I want him to make this much money. Maybe you need to get a job in Africa. I mean, if that's the case, she's gonna push a man like that. That's not okay. I'm sorry, that's not okay. But
well, I don't want to cut us all short.
Send him.
I don't want to cut us all short, but it is getting to be a late hour, especially over you guys over on the East Coast. I'd like to pick this up again tomorrow.
I'm in Central Time.
Yeah, me too, but I've got to be up in 3 hours. But I'd like to continue this again tomorrow. These discussions are really helping people. I think it's a positive, uplifting conversation. I appreciate everybody that's been in here or is still in here. Again, for the next couple of days, including all day Saturday, we'll be live. We're raising money for free pizza for kids. Mr. John over there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We're doing everything we can to raise some extra funds for him. And what he does is about once a month on a Sunday, he opens up his garage, opens up his big pizza oven. He makes a bunch of pizzas for the homeless, for the kids. Make sure that, he gets a hot pizza out there and puts a smile on faces. He has no hidden agendas behind it. He just does it because it's the right thing. And I believe that, we as a community can help support him by raising some funds for him. If you donate over $20, there is a wonderful gift card from North Florida Alignment MD, Mr. Rocky, that he's putting up
North
a free
Florida
alignment.
MD.
I'm sorry.
North Florida MD alignment.
There it is. MD. Okay, I got the two words backwards. I'm sorry. But he's putting up this beautiful gift certificate valued up to $425 for a free 3-axle alignment on any Class 7 and Class 8. So, if you donate over 20, please let us know. Message us or message Rocky. We'll try to get you some more information tomorrow so that you can donate in several different ways. But I will post up real quick. I will post up the link that you can go to and donate. There it is. Yeah, Sean, I'll get you up there. If you can jump in tomorrow, buddy, I would love to have you in the live tomorrow. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is all about raising money for kids. So let's have a clean conversation and keep it positive, and let's see what we can put together for these individuals.
All right.
Sounds good. Works for me.
Tomorrow.
But y'all have yourselves an absolutely phenomenal night.
You too.
And we will carry this over. Again tomorrow.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Go get some rest.